And we're on. If I can get all my settings done right,
We're good?
we're good.
You can hear me.
I can hear you.
Oh my god.
Hey, everybody, welcome in. Welcome back to another Elsewhere podcast wait, with Cliff Beats
Sponsored by Capri Sun. No, I'm just kidding.
and water. Um, no, I appreciate you guys hanging in there. A little bit of technical difficulty, and as per usual, it was me. So,
No, it's okay. Honestly, like I was saying, like while we were dealing with it, it happens to me like almost every live stream that I do. So don't like take it personal. It happens to me all the time when I try to do stuff too, going live.
no,
Computer
it had
stuff's
it
the
out
name.
for me. It was doing it on purpose. It targeted
Yeah,
me, came right
you were a
at me. It
target.
was coming from my neck.
Mm. I felt the pressure. I was like, "Is it me?" I was like going through all my settings, like, "Can't be me."
Hey, Mom. My mom's hopped in.
Hi, mom. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Thanks for jumping in here and saying hi.
By the way, hello everybody. I've seen you guys, and I was kind of I was panicking a little bit earlier, so I didn't say it in the chat, but I see everybody. I'm gonna have to go through and shout everybody out because there's a lot of people in
Run it.
here.
Run through it. I see Chad. I see Straight White Male. I see Jess J, Ben T, Jared, Wallflower, Patricia. All the love. I did it for you.
Scooba Doo,
Oh, Scooby Doo?
Scooba
I
Doo,
can't. I can't see that high up. Okay, Brandon. I see Brandon.
Kristen. Who else did we get? Tina. Oh, Champagne is in here. Hello.
We popping champagne, baby. We're not. It's too
Chad.
early in the morning or afternoon
Evasive
now.
Pen. So, guys, I really appreciate you being here. I'm stoked because if you guys weren't aware, if you're a little bit newer to the podcast, you probably might not have been here back in the spring when
Uh,
Cliff graced us with his presence previously. Um, Hi, Belderana. Welcome in. Uh, it's really cool because, and I told this then, and I'll say it again now. Um, you're the first reactor that I ever subscribed to, ever. So,
Thank you.
it was a huge deal
Ever.
to get you on. Um, it's like, talking to the person that kind of got me saying, okay, well, maybe I do like watching these, and I'm going to actually go down the rabbit hole and listen and pay attention and find other reactors. And it's all because you caught my attention, with what you were doing. So,
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. It's crazy that you like say that because I've told the story like a million times when I go live and stuff. Is when I started doing, I didn't know they were called reactions. I didn't know. Like I felt like I could break down bars and like leave some stuff behind, like videos behind for my family and stuff in case something happened to me. And little did I know it was a huge community. And yeah, as soon as I started, everyone's like, "Do you know this person?" And I was like, "I don't know anybody. Who are you talking about?" The only person I ever heard of was Shaq, No Life Shaq
mm,
before. And then come to find out, there's like 1,000 reactors, and I was like, "Well, I'm not the first one to do this. I do not feel so special anymore." But you make me feel special with that comment, so thank you.
everybody's saying welcome in. And Ben just said, Cliff's the whole reason I got into beatbox. I always give him credit for Bush ever happening.
Oh hell yeah, dude! Ben's my guy right there. Yeah, he's got Bush Battle League, Bush Battle. I'm gonna try to go next year in Virginia. I believe it's in Virginia. Yeah, the beatbox community is super accepting. They're very dope, and Ben's a cool dude for sure.
No, absolutely. I actually am hoping to go to that one. I'm trying to go to the one in Virginia in December. Um, that
Oh, it's
was
this year in December?
no, that's you're talking about the Bush one. I'm talking about
Oh,
the Beatbox Arena with Lakota and Ben are hosting that one too. Hey,
oh, I did
Kenzie.
not know that.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a lot going on with that, and it's interesting because as a reactor, you can inspire people, and it takes a minute sometimes for reactors to realize how much of an inspiration that they are.
Hmm.
Some of them don't catch it right away. They just think, okay, well, we're having fun with this. Okay, they must have liked it, instead of realizing how impactful you can be on people in their
Hmm.
lives, their mental health, all of that. I mean, a lot of people just don't get it,
Hmm.
and then
Yeah.
they get that oh shit moment where somebody sends them that message, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. That message that made you go, oh my god, like, wow, I'm making a difference. I'm doing something important. And it seems to some people, it seems like, well, you're just reacting, you're just watching videos, you're just whatever, but you're not just anything, That's why
Yeah.
we have communities that follow us. And you do break down, man. You crack me up every time when you break stuff down.
I'm not trying to. I'm just being myself. I can't help it. People always say that. They're like, "You should be a comedian. You should." I'm like, I don't know. I'm just being myself. I don't know, but yeah. But I want to go back to what you were just saying a second ago about you know, um, like getting that one message that kind of makes you realize it. Like when I first started, I started with just my phone. I just propped my phone up and I started doing videos. And then like, next thing I knew, I had people saying like, "Hey, you need to get a camera and a real microphone." And I was like, okay, like I didn't know what I was getting myself into. And then like you said, it just started growing very quickly for me. I don't know if it was breaking down bars or just me being drugged up and saying some dumb ish every once in a while. um but yeah, and then you're right, I started getting messages, because I'm an advocate for mental health awareness and stuff. That's one of the biggest things on my platform, that I really try to be there for people who feel alone. And I started getting messages about how impactful that the reactions and breakdowns are. And I kind of caught on really early because I saw how quickly things were growing. So I'm glad that I did, and I'm glad that I still leave myself, open and available for people. And like even with this, year and a half. Well, January 27th is like my technical 2-year anniversary for the channel. Um, People are still like, even with this many subscribers, like you still talk to all of us. And I'm like, yeah, even if I had 10 million subscribers, I'd still talk to every single person. Like I would do my, well, I mean, I'd probably miss some, but I do my damnedest. But yeah, I'll never stop being who I am for anyone.
No, and that's awesome, because that's the thing, is it's not as much you don't have an opportunity to talk to people. It's that logistically it doesn't make, you can't. There's not
Yeah.
enough hours in the day to have long conversations with every single possible person that could ever reach out.
Yeah.
And I think that, why do I look like, I'm sorry, I just realized that I look like I have a red nose. I feel like Rudolph going all of a sudden. What's going on with that?
I think it's only on your screen. I don't see it over here.
Well, good.
You do not look like Rudolph. Tis the season, though. If you were to look like Rudolph, it
Well,
is the
I'm
season.
trying to be jolly or something. But no, I mean, that's the thing. It's really hard to keep in touch with everybody, because you just, the sheer number of people reaching out, it's got to be massive. Like, and I'm lucky. I have some people reach out to me. I've got my friends. I have people that I really need to get back in contact with. But for the most part, like, I don't have my DMs like, and I'm sure
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
Requests, comments, suggestions, demands, hateful crap, whatever. I mean, I'm sure yours are going crazy.
Yeah, I mean it's a handful of everything you just said there, but I've kind of started to I don't want to use this term, but thin the herd a bit. So when I do at the end of my video say like, "Hey, please reach out to me if you feel alone" and stuff, I almost sound like I'm just like reading off a telecast at this point. 'Cause I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but I don't even care. Except I always say, like, if it catches that right person at that right moment, that's all I care about. But yeah, I try to tell people like, "Hey, if you can." If you have any, because that's the first, I think, like, think about it. If you go and message somebody for the first time, it's got to be super uncomfortable, especially if you see somebody on YouTube. And like, maybe I'm more accustomed to it because, like, my line of work, I'm around tons of people that are already very famous or popular, so to speak, so it doesn't phase me. But, to a normal person, I would say it'd be a little daunting, a little. I could see someone being nervous. So a good way to for them in their mind to open up would be, I get this a lot, is they'll ask for a request, and then they'll be like, "Oh, okay, that's fine that you can't do that, but can you answer some questions for me?" And it's just kind of like, I think their segue to having a conversation, but they could skip the whole requesting, because I'm honestly, it's got, like you said, it's gotten to be so much. I can't even see the requests on Instagram anymore. I used to take screenshots on my phone, and then next thing I knew, my phone, I bought like the whatever, like $20 a month, like for the extra gigabytes on my phone and stuff. I can't even store any more photos, so I had to tell everyone I can't take any more requests. But um, yeah, it's crazy. And then yeah, I get the hate messages. I mean, I've even gotten death threats. I've gotten all types of crazy stuff. But I also get tons of love. I've gotten groupies. No, I'm just kidding. Not really groupies, but Yeah, I mean, it's a whole bunch of everything, and I love it. I love everything that comes with it, but there is a lot that comes with it, and a lot of people gotta realize that it's like you said, you can't get to everyone. You can't. I'd love to have those long conversations with people. I'll disappear. I'll go to work for 4 or 5 hours, and I'll look at my phone, and then so one person will send me like 25 messages, and they're all paragraphs, and I have to just be like, "Oh, go ahead. Oh, no, you're not like that. You'll send me like a sentence or two. What do you mean?"
And then another one, and then another one, and then another.
But they're short sentences. I can do that. But if they're like paragraphs, like I could only see so, and I have to like politely be like, "Hey, I can't read all this right now. I'm so sorry. I'm at work. But what's going on with you in the short term? Like, what's going on? What can I help with?" And
No,
mostly
it
they're
makes
just like,
sense.
I was just venting. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. You can vent to me anytime. But if there's something like pressing that you really need to discuss, like I can't fix it, but you can talk to me about it. Like, so that's where I take it.
That is a million times more kind than pretty much anybody out there it would do for people. And I'm going to be honest with that. It's the truth. I mean, because generally people are going to be like, oh, I ain't got time for that. And they're going to just move along. They're not going to
Yeah.
say anything. They're not going to respond. They're not going to offer, like, okay, well, that was a lot, but do you have anything that's a little bit, say less? Like, a little bit?
Yeah.
You know, and that just shows your heart. That shows your kindness. And, your, when you say that you're willing to help people, that you want to talk to people, reach out to people, help them if they do need something, that you actually mean it, which is few and far between.
Yeah, that's one of like the main things too I get is like, I say what I say in my videos, and I mean every word that I say, even my fuck ups. Am I supposed to curse? Am I allowed to curse?
Fuck it.
All right, fuck it. Oh, I just some people don't like it when you curse on their. You never know,
Mom's gonna.
people.
My mom was. We've talked about this before. What's my mom gonna do? Ground me to my room?
Maybe.
To my
Hey,
room?
mama's always mama. You never know. Mamas are always your mama. Um, but yeah, what was I talking about before that? So I got distracted by the cursing. What was I answering? My dementia's kicking in.
So did mine. You. You just squirreled.
This
You
is
were.
this is what happens. I was at a golf outing all day yesterday. Then I had to go to this party because I was obligated, and my brain is. I feel like I'm hungover and I haven't drank in 7 years, so my brain is fried. But no, we were talking about something with kindness and your heart and something. Either way, I was just saying, yeah, that I just try to do my best. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I I don't know how other people. Oh, that's what we were talking about. Like how other people, so most people when they message me, they don't believe it. Like I've even had people be like, "Oh, I don't believe this is you. Take a picture with your peace signs up or put a spoon on top of your head." And I'm like, "What did you just ask me to do? What are you talking about? Like this is me." And then but like I think a lot I don't know social media that well, so like I think people forget that about me is like the past, so from like 2010 to like 2000 and yeah, 2021 when I started the channel. Only time I'd go on YouTube was to like play a random beat if I was like in the car and I wanted to freestyle or just listen to something to get creative, or I'd play a song or something that I was already familiar with. I wouldn't go down a rabbit hole. I knew YouTube was like a big platform, but I would try to stay away from music. So I was going with, I don't know what other people have said or like tried to do to persuade people to subscribe to them or watch them or whatever the case may be to sell something. But I don't do that. Like you said, I'm genuinely here for anybody that needs me, and that's 24/7. Like as soon as we get done with this, I'll hop on my Instagram, I'll answer some people, and then I got to jump into a live feed myself. And that's just, I just implement it throughout my day, and now it's become a thing that makes my girlfriend want to kill me.
Well, I'm pretty much. If I'm not doing something actively, I'm reading. So I'm reading on my phone. So
That's
then
good.
all the notifications, I see them immediately.
Hmm.
So there's like really no delay usually, unless I'm just like, I can't right now. And I have to like put a pause on it and like do it later because I just need a break.
Yeah.
Um, but it just gets to the point where, I get all of these fake. I actually have a channel in my Discord
Hmm.
for all of the fake followers. So I'm talking about um, the up churches, the up UPPCHHURCH,
Okay.
the Tom McDonald 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 with Tom's picture.
Oh, yeah, like the fake spam accounts.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get tons of those
I
all
have
the
a
time.
channel in the Discord that I post all of them in because it's ridiculous. Like in one day I'll get like 7 from like up like they'll go in waves. And it's like I can't imagine trying to weed through talking to people and being sincere and genuine and then turning around and having, you know, scammers that come and try to hit you up and see if they can, get you to talk some type of way, you know?
The only time that really bothers me, like I don't really, those people, like yeah, they're annoying and they're frustrating. The only time it really bothers me is when they start to go after my subscribers or people that are following me. That's when I take it personal. Otherwise, it kind of just like beats off my back. I don't really worry about it. But when people start attacking people that I care about or trying to take advantage of people, like I'll have people be like fake Tom McDonald's or even fake. I've had fake people go on my page, make a fake page saying it's me and saying, "Hey, thanks for watching my reaction. Reach out to me." And this, I'm like, hey, don't answer that person because it's a fake account.
Hmm.
But I guess it's how you know that your channel got big enough, I guess. But yeah, and I have to go and tell them not to because people are easily persuaded. There's been how many times have you gotten like like a message like on your email like something's been hacked. Please click this really quick to make sure you can change your password. Like I've almost gotten duped before because I'm not the best tech savvy person, but now that I'm learning more of this, I'm realizing how much more like scams are out there and how much more people. My phone got hacked 3 times since I started a YouTube channel. I've had to get 3 different phones. I've had to stop. I used to do FaceTime calls with people. I used to talk to people on the phone. I had to stop all that because a few good people ruined a good thing that I was able to do, and it sucks that some people take advantage of that shit.
Yeah, it takes a special type of person to go out of their way to try and actively hurt somebody or go at, I don't know. It just takes
They're
a
not
special kind of
special.
people.
They're
I'm
not. They're
saying
not special. I
special,
know.
like,
They're sad. They're upset with life. They're not happy with what's going on with them, so they lash out at others. So I always tell people, in life with anything going on, like if somebody's being mean to you, just know it's a reflection of self, and that person is actually hurting and they're taking it out on you. It actually has nothing to do with you. If anything, you should feel sympathy and sorry and show empathy towards that person. You know what I'm saying? Because that person actually needs love when they're being hateful towards you. So anybody who ever messages me with hate, I just hit them with love, and then I just watch them either get. It usually flips a switch, and they're just like, "Oh shit!" Like I am an asshole, or they just they dig themselves deeper, and I just keep showing more love, and I start like blowing them kisses with like the kissy face emoji, and then it just drives them crazy, and they stop. You can't really do nothing.
Ben T said one of his best friends passed away. Oh, wait, it's down here. I gotta figure out where my signals
Yeah,
are.
it's down there.
It says one of his best friends passed away, and he got home from the memorial service, sat down in his garage, and got the notification that you had reacted to the corpse husband requested. And he said it really helped him.
Oh man, Ben, I'm so sorry for your loss, man. But you know, I feel like all of us have gone through a lot of losses, especially this last 3 years, and I'm so sorry to anybody who's lost anybody. I always say this is somebody once told me that it's selfish for us to mourn over the people we lost because they want us to be happy, and that we selfishly inflict that pain onto ourselves. So, man, just cherish those memories with your friends, and just carry out their memories and their legacy, and live the best life that you can, man. It's no matter what brings you down. Just you gotta cherish those memories of those people. And I do have. I'm not a religious person, but I have faith that we do end up. I believe that this is some type of big thing. Like there's too many coincidences, so I believe this is some type of big thing where we all end up seeing each other or meeting each other again. There's got to be some type of thing that's bigger than this.
Well, and that's something my intention is to dive into on this channel at a future date. Is that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
what we talking about? What we talking? Give me a little sneak peek.
Well, okay, so for example, you asked me twice. Um, my mom, who's in the chat,
Okay.
she told me something about Mom. I know I'm gonna butcher it, so unless you want to come in here and say it yourself, just saying. Um, Something about William Shatner went up in the spaceship.
I seen that.
Okay, so he goes up in the spaceship. He comes off and he's like, "The fuck," and he says, "There's no way. There's not other like stuff out there. There's
Yeah.
no way. And seeing it from that perspective, there's no way you could think that it's just us in this huge universe, that there's just this one little place with these people and that's it. That there's nothing else out there. And then he said something about he saw his death, and I was like, holy shit. So I want to go into that. I haven't read it myself, and that's why because I was going to do that. But that's kind of the stuff that I'm talking about. Those things that open up conversations that I'm not saying as specifically conspiracy theories, but stuff that is not easy to talk about, PC, not the common thought, not, popular opinion when it comes to like just weird, odd, why stuff happens, why stuff. I love those old ancient things like, oh, this happened because, Atlantis and all that. So
I get into that stuff too. No, I was going to tell you, I'll do you one better. It's not just something you can read about William Shatner. It's actually a video that I did watch on YouTube. And he actually, I don't want to ruin it for you, so I'm not going to tell you everything because I want you to watch it yourself. But it's actually a video, and he comes back down and he's talking to like a reporter or a friend or somebody, a journalist or something, and he's explaining everything, kind of what you said. But he even goes more into detail, and it was just kind of like eerie feeling. And it's crazy to think he was 90 years old and able to go up into space and then come right back down. Like, hey, props to that man. He's a legend. He's definitely a legend. But no, I also get into the conspiracy. That's why I got a problem. If I get into a certain type of music or conspiracy theory, I go down the rabbit hole fast. I have a very addictive personality. Right now, mine is sugar, Capri Sun. I was on the run and I had to grab a Lunchable at a gas station last night. Long story short, that's where it came from. But yeah. So, have you ever heard the one about 33 continents? I think it's called.
I haven't.
You ever heard about? Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna butcher the hell out of this, but basically, okay. So, I see now I'm gonna get you all into this one. This one blew my mind. I don't know.
I'm trying to find a pencil. Hold on.
Oh, you're fine. Take your time.
So I can write it down.
You're good. Does this save and record or no?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay,
could
so
go
you
back
could
and
just-
watch it, but I never do. I have paper.
Okay, right. It's out. I think it's called 33 continents. It could be countries, but I think it's called 33 continents.
Mm-hmm.
And supposedly, you know how like we cannot, as human beings, we cannot travel to Antarctica. That is a no-fly zone. We are not allowed to go there by any means necessary. And I'm gonna butcher the hell out of this, but basically, it's supposed to be a big giant ice wall, right? And the Earth supposedly is flat. This is what the theory says. You got it. You got it down. Okay. And then there's layers to each side to this Earth that is flat. And Antarctica is actually wraps around the entire world, and then there's one big giant ice wall to the other side, which has other continents, just like ours. So our planet supposedly looks like our solar system, but it's just a flat surface, which is where our Earth is. And there's continents, so there's different species and different alien beings and stuff that live on the same Earth as us, and Earth is supposedly much larger than we believe, than what they show. And like I was even watching this, and they were talking about how one of the first maps ever drawn when the Earth was discovered, it showed how big Antarctica, am I saying that right? Antarctica really is, and how it wraps around the entire globe. But now they have it actually smaller at the bottom and at the top. So when I was watching this video on it, I was like, don't tell me this is real. Because I started believing it. I was like, the Earth's flat. There's 33 continents. There's aliens living right next to me.
Well, that's how you know that not only is it a good one, right? But that they presented it very well is when you're like, I co-sign with this. By the way, shout out to Ben T. Tipped $50. Love you both. We love you back, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ben. I appreciate
Honestly.
you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'm not saying I believe in the 33 continents. I'm just saying, like, when I watched it, I was like, don't tell me this. You know what I'm saying? Like, this cannot be real. I was like, this is crazy.
See, the ones I like to go down, because I'm like crazy weird, the ones I like to go down are some of the Scientology ones, the Illuminati ones, the, see what this happened and that person did this. Do you remember that? That's when this was, and that's because of the Illuminati. I'm like, oh, I'm like, oh, okay, explains everything. Thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, those are crazy. Yeah, I mean, I take everything with a grain of salt. Like, I might I remember one time I said on a video somewhere like I don't like it's not like I'm not like a big fan of like certain people. So here's an example. Like I think in one video I said something about he's a professor. His name's Jordan Peterson. Are you familiar with him?
Hmm.
Okay. In a video, I said something like, "Oh, I heard Jordan Peterson talking about something like this. I liked what he said about this somewhere. I forgot where. I don't know if it was a podcast. I think he was on Joe Rogan's podcast or something. So I listened to that when I'm driving sometimes. I listen to a lot of audiobooks and podcasts and stuff. And I instantly got a bunch of hate for it. People were like, you support Cliff Beats supports Jordan. What did I say? I forgot his name. Jordan Peterson. Um, he's an advocate for Jordan Peterson. This is that. I'm like, I just said I listened. I didn't say this, but in my mind, I'm like, I just said I listened to one thing that he said. Not that I said I was his biggest fan or I write him love letters or anything, but Jesus Christ, people are quick. Like if it doesn't go with like what they believe, they're instantly like, that person's with that person. It's like that's not what happened at all.
Well, that's what I don't understand, because I don't know if it's because my brain doesn't work that way, and I think that has a lot to do with it. When you're not, it that's why I call people special. It takes a specific capability to be able to view the world in a way that you would react to it like that, right? To be
Mm-hmm.
that hostile, to jump on it that quickly, to be that hardcore about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've got to be a special type person, no matter what makes you special in that moment. I just, to me, it's odd because, like, if I'm watching a video and you happen to say, the sky is blue, the grass is green, my tree is purple, you know, and I'm actually a pig, you know, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, why are you insulting pigs like that? Like in context matters what you're saying. So they
Yeah.
heard Jordan Peterson and they didn't hear when I was listening to such and such. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they heard Jordan Peterson. They and you didn't say it with a middle finger in the air, right?
Maybe I
So
did. Mhm. I'm just kidding. No, it's just like I said, I really believe. So look at it like this: social media or any type of entertainment is escapism, right?
right.
And when that person is escaping, they're taking along their feelings subconsciously with them. And some people are intoxicated. Some people need mental health treatment that they're not seeking. Some people just want to just let it out and go off on somebody. And that's one thing that I had to realize is a thing on social media that I didn't know was a thing. Even like when people write me a message, and they're always surprised when I write them back because I talk to everybody. I mean, I try to talk to as many people that watch my channel as much as I can because I wouldn't be here without anybody watching me. And they'll take what I'm saying the wrong way. Like they'll say they critique me or whatever, right? And I'll be like, oh well, yeah, no, I know I missed that. Like this is a no script off the rip, one take, no cuts, no edits. But I appreciate your feedback. Thank you so much. And then they take it like, oh, no need to be so mad. Someone should take it as professional, being as you're as big as you are. And I'm like, I was just saying like, thank you for critiquing me. Like I appreciate it. But like I said, it's just all in context. Like you said, some people are just special. Like I said, people just want to lash out sometimes, and I don't know. I just show love back anytime I deal with any feedback like that.
By the way, shout out to Turtle with your comment. Appreciate that. Oh shit, Cat, you got a ghost rider in the middle of October.
Oh, you got wordplay over there, DJ
This
Turtle.
podcast started pretty good. Yeah, I got him back. I roped him in. We've been planning this for a minute.
Yeah, we were. I had to keep pushing it back because I had so much stuff. I had last weekend. I had a wedding, a birthday party. During the week, I had two other birthday parties, and I had this golf outing that I did not want to go. I haven't played golf since I was like in high school, but I play here and there. I had to go to a golf outing with 72 dudes, 72 men. So imagine how that was. And then afterwards, there was like a raffle and then like a party with like food and stuff that I had to go to because it was like friends from high school that I haven't seen in a while. And man, I woke up this morning and I felt like I got hit by a train and like I was hungover. I was like, did I drink any Baka Sevens last night? Because I don't remember drinking any Baka Sevens last night. But no, it was a good time. So I'm really excited because now that that's over, I'll be able to focus more on doing my content and being able to hang out with everybody. And I don't know if you're aware of this or if anyone's been listening, but DJ mentioned about the ghostwriter thing. I'm going to be working a lot more from home during the winter this year, just because I want to focus more on content creating. So I am going to start making more videos and doing edits and stuff, but just for like YouTube shorts, and then also on TikTok, just to try to grow things a bit more. I'm also doing more Twitch now. And hey, you jumped into my streams a few times when me and my buddy were gaming and stuff.
Hmm.
So I'm just trying to do different things and just I guess try to grow things on social media, and I'll be working from home. I got my, yeah, you can see it behind me. I got my mic behind me and like some equipment, but yeah, I'll be recording here. So it's gonna be a lot more fun for me. A lot less stress because I got to drive 45 minutes one way, then I got to sit there with my clients for 10 hours, then come back, and you should get a more lively Cliff. I shouldn't be as half asleep when I'm feeling my breakdown
Wiped out.
reactions.
Like, yeah.
I'm telling you, every reaction you watch, I'm either just waking up or I'm just getting off of my shift, and I'm doing my best to give you what I have left.
I was gonna say, yeah, I do jump into the Twitch just to say hi, and then I'm
Yeah, I
like,
know you do.
oh look, games.
Peace out.
I'm like,
Yeah.
hi. I mean, I do stop in to say hello and just to show support or whatever. I don't know. I'm not as familiar with the like algorithm on Twitch, how it works. If like the amount of messages like on YouTube when you're live, if the chat's moving, that counts. It boosts you.
Oh.
So like if people are talking in the chat, just like comments on your videos, I mean it's kind of the same sort of thing. So I mean I always try to put a couple comments in there, just to make the chat move a little bit, that kind of stuff. And then
Yeah.
I'm just like, games, yeah.
No, yeah, I totally
I
get
think
it.
that the grass is growing. I gotta go. Like, that's kind of how I handle that a little bit, and I do that to everybody. It's not personal.
Oh,
What's
no,
up,
it's fine.
15th Bend? I see you, Marcus. If I missed anybody coming in, I apologize. I am just talking, and I agree with Ben. Wait, that's where I'm looking here, but he says
I think it's down below for you. To me, it's to my this side for me.
well, I'm backwards, so
Oh.
right. So I'm looking at my screen and looking at my own hand. This
Okay.
it shows up on the left is my
Okay.
right hand.
Yeah, this is my right hand, but it shows up on. Well, no, it's my right. I don't know. I can't tell. Either way.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm trying to. Yeah, you see me do it all the time. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, I do that in my videos. Oh, hi, cat. I seen your cat run behind you, cat.
Oh,
There's
what's
a
he in
cat run
here?
Yeah, he ran. It was really quick. It was for a second, but yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something, but the cat distracted me. I got my ADHD kicked in.
Well, that's the thing is like as I always get my directions mixed up all the time. I agree with Ben, by the way. That I just want to know where the tickety tits went because I cracked me up.
Oh, yeah. So I actually had to remove that because of YouTube.
Oh,
So YouTube never helps me with anything. But if I'm doing something wrong, oh God, you better believe YouTube's willing to reach out to you. There came a point where I was getting confused with my videos and being copyrighted, and I was like, "What is going on here?" Because I do no clip beats, no script, off the rip, something Army of Darkness, grab out some tickety tits. And I would just joke around and do it. And YouTube reached out to me and they were like, "You can't do that in the first like 15 seconds of your introduction." I was like, "What do you mean?"
Keto has this problem. Keto has the same problem because he curses all the time. So he'll shut up and he'll just sit there for 2 minutes on his live. He'll sit there because if you do the first 2 minutes, they'll nail you for it, or they won't send out your notifications.
Yeah, that's true. And same thing. So sometimes I'll be like, clip beats, no script, off the rip, coming at you with some more Tom McDonald in this bitch. And YouTube has contacted me again, like, you can't swear. And I'm like, it's a female dog. And then they don't respond back to me. They can't say anything back. I'm like, I'm referring to my female dog. Yeah, fucking freedom of speech, man. And then like say I got, Tom gives me permission to react to his content and monetize it. He wants to help me because I'm doing my best to help him.
Right.
We're on good terms. Tom's a really cool dude. And it's just crazy that they will try to limit my ads. And then when I do that, I have to go request a human review. So they have somebody from YouTube go in there to review my content to make sure it's suitable for advertisements. And the more I swear, the more that they say it's not suitable for advertisement. But I can still make money from people who have YouTube Premium, but advertisers, because we make our money, which is not a lot, but we make our money basically on advertising companies bidding on our channels to who's going to be able to advertise on our channel. And YouTube will not give us that information. They won't tell you who's doing the bidding, who won the bid, how much money you make per video. Like they'll tell you how much money you make per video on like an estimate when you like go through your revenue and stuff or your analytics, but they won't give you like a spreadsheet or an explanation or anything. It's the weirdest thing ever. Like YouTube's doing some shady stuff behind the scene. Like I explained one time how there were like 3 months where I was making way significantly less money than I usually make, which is fine. I don't do this for the money. Everyone who knows me knows I don't do this for the money. But I just noticed it. And I didn't even say anything to YouTube. I kind of just let it go. I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just YouTube being YouTube. Out of nowhere, they just sent me this big ass check. And like, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, I don't know where it came from. So like, I'm like, okay, well, if I accept this check and they come back like, oh, hey, that was a mistake on our part, you need to give it back. Like, I don't want to get in trouble for something that they did. So I reached out to them and they were like, oh no, that's back pay for monetization that you didn't receive. And I'm like, why would I receive back pay? Like, why? I thought everything is listed right in front of me for me to be able to see, to keep track of. But I don't even know where this came from. So I asked for this back in this happened in February. I've never gotten an explanation.
Well, yeah, because they'll do anything in the world, but they don't tell you why. Because 90% of it is being done by their technology, and it's not even somebody sitting there doing something. Like, yeah. It's not somebody, they don't have 1 million people to sit there and watch 1 million videos every day.
Yeah.
Ironically, considering there's 1 million people watching videos every day.
Yeah. Oh, there's more than billion. Yeah, it's probably billions of people watching videos. Well, probably a billion, maybe.
Ben, back pay for being awesome.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. No, it's just, I don't, like I said, I don't care, but I would just like to, it's like any job you work or anything you do, like, I have to pay taxes on this money, right?
Right.
And if I don't, I'm going to jail. So, but if a company can't explain it to me properly, then I can't explain it properly to the IRS, I'm going to be the one getting in trouble, not YouTube or Google. So it's kind of fucked up on our end. And I get it. Like, I get the whole, like, stigma about being a reactor and taking advantage of artists and stuff like that. And I know there's channels that do that, that jump on furniture and they don't really acknowledge what's happening with the artistry. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, like, that's not me. They can go and do what they want. And I understand where YouTube has to, like, kind of lay down the law on people, because you're taking it's somebody else's artwork and then you're using it to monetize it for financial gain. But if you're actually there to try to help, like, the listener better understand, or like build a community that's around mental health and, just hang out together and stuff like that, that's a little bit different than, taking advantage of the artist. So it's a really gray area for them. So I kind of get where they're coming from, but they lay down the law too hard on, like, channels that are actually really trying to help. Like, my channel I tell you, my channel is so weird. It does so well. And like, it's like they see me doing so well that instantly everything just stops. Then it'll do the same thing. It'll do so well, then it'll just stop again. It's like they keep, like, throttling. And that's what they say. They keep saying I have a bug in my channel. I've had 4 bugs in my channel now in 16, 17 months that I've been on here.
There's somebody out there that's like, from one of those times that you responded and it was like, one of those times, one of those people is sitting there going, oh, you're doing good. That's enough of that for now. And then, for a couple days until the cycle goes through and then it's fine again. And then they're like, they push the button again and they pause it. They just pause. Oh, wait. Oh, you want to have notifications? Oops. Oh, you want to have this, that, or the other? Oh, you want traffic to come to your stream? You want to be recommended? Oh, that's too bad. And, and that's, I wonder sometimes if it's a person or if it's the way that their algorithm's set up. So, trying to make it short, long explanation being, like, when you do claims, because I do billing. I do, like, medical and pharmacy billing. By the way, hi, Skulls. I see you.
What's up, Skulls?
When you put in a claim, like, if you go send it to insurance, right? Insurance gets it, and they check for
Kitty cat.
There he is. They check for
What's
one or two things, and and then that reroutes it, right? And then they check for if it goes this way. It's one of those things where it says if yes, then this way, and if no, then that, right?
Okay.
And it branches off and goes. Once you hit one of those lanes, getting back to the beginning is like next to impossible. You have to like delete and go to the beginning. So I think that sometimes some of the channels might have hit one of those lanes in their AI algorithm, whatever the hell it is, that, and gets dropped off, between the cracks, or dropped off so that they're not getting the same as somebody else. I don't know if it's because being flagged or getting hate comments for certain things, or if you specific people that you guys react to, that they kind of put, oh, you're one of them, and they put you kind of in that lane as well.
Maybe.
I don't know enough to say. I mean, I don't even know this. I'm just saying it sounds like that tends to happen.
Well, here's an example. Like, so we're in what, October, right? So September, August, September, October. Jesus Christ, August. So it'll explain to you everything. Which this will help people in the future who start a channel. It'll explain everything to you, and it'll like basically compare your months and how you did month to month, each 28 days. That's how YouTube kind of bases everything. And like, so for the month of August, I average about 10,000 subscribers per month when the algorithm's working the correct way. But they will see that happening, and then all of a sudden it'll go down to like 2,000. And then like when all of a sudden I start building it back up, YouTube will be like, oh, you have a reach of 78%. 78% more people are seeing your content. This and that. And this is when I come back from my downfall or whatever happens when I hit that point and they shoot you back down. And they'll be like, oh, and the reasoning, they'll tell you a reasoning. They'll be like in a little sentence. They'll be like, the reasoning behind this is because you produced more content in the last previous 28 days, and you can click to see how much content you produce. So each month I produce between, I think it said 60 and 85 videos. That's what I produce. Wait, no, that can't be right. Yeah, 60 and 85 videos is like my average per month. And like, so the month that I supposedly did better, I did one extra video. I think I did 87 videos or something like that. And they were saying I gained 78% more traction on my channel from one extra video. There's no way. That makes absolutely no sense. So that's how I know that they're just lying. And then I message them and they say, oh, there's a bug in your system. And I've been working with their internal team since July of last year. But I don't want to make this whole podcast about me being complaining. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know what it is. And for future channels that go through this, like, just know you're not alone. Like, that's why I have so much respect for Knox Hill. It's because when this was happening to me, he reached out to me like, hey, like, I've encountered shit like this before myself. Like, what are they doing? I told him, like, verbatim. I was sending out, like, I was taking screenshots of their email. If you go to my Twitter, my whole Twitter is just me putting YouTube on blast. Like, you can read our full conversations. And and Knox instantly like went to his own like YouTube and started posting my screenshots and saying like, yo, look how YouTube treats its content creators, this and that. And I've developed a really good relationship with Knox since then. No matter what anybody thinks about either of us, I respect that, man. And it just goes to show it's not just happening to just me. It happens to a lot of us. I've had other reactors or people who break down music reach out to me and they're like, hey, like, do you want to go fight the system? And I'm like, I do, but at the same time, I don't want to lose my channel and like not be able to help people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like,
it's a very fine line because people, and I encounter this as a mod. I encounter this like Discord, YouTube, wherever, right? People don't understand that, and this is, I think, when Truth and Nick went live with me way back with Skulls, back like one of the first podcasts. We were talking about this, and it's like there's certain things that people don't get. That, for example, people come in there like, well, you rock with Tom. How come I can't say whatever the hell I want? Because, you're in, for example, in Discord, you have to follow Discord terms of service. You don't have a choice. And I don't have a choice. And, like, for example, you can't go into Nova's Discord and, start talking shit about, right, or talking about other art. Like, I'm not saying talking about other artists, but, like, talking about how, oh, we all need to gather up and go march on that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, you can't do that because it's
Yeah.
against Discord terms of service. Well, you follow Tom and Nova, you know, you'd think that you would. But that it's in context,
Yeah.
bro. Like, stop. Because on YouTube, in order to talk about the things that we want to talk about, we have to do it with a little bit of finesse. You have to do it with a little bit of, not necessarily, if you have a topic that's probably going to be a oh shit topic,
Mm-hmm.
maybe toning down the cursing a little bit to try and stop those triggers from, you know, YouTube catching on to those or somebody getting offended. Like, there's all kinds of different things you've got to do because you don't want your channel gone. And it's not.
Yeah.
My whole thing is I want to promote and elevate good people, right? People that are creating content in whatever context that may be: artists, authors, producers, reactors, you know, channels, anything. And just kind of get them out there and highlight them as a person so that people get to know them as a person above and beyond their content, right? In just a different way. But also, it's to allow people to have that conversation that their channel, it might not be on brand for their channel, but they can do it on mine.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
You know, so there are times where somebody will be like, on their channel, for example, Carly comes on here and we're playing Among Us and like swearing and like running around and yelling at each other and making sex jokes and stuff. And she's like the most innocent, like, oh, that's so sweet. That's her. And I'm like, so she comes on with us and she's laughing. We're having a blast. But on her channel, that's not what she wants for her channel. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people have to understand that you can't always say and do everything that people want you to, because you do have to protect the channel. The same with when people get mad in chats. I'm like, the mods are protecting the content creator. So don't fuck with mods, people. Duh.
Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, you worded that perfectly. Exactly. You can only, there's so many times where I want to say more or speak more about a certain topic, but I also remember that I have to protect the channel because, like, this is going to sound terrible. I don't care about me losing my YouTube channel. It sounds horrible, I know. If it one day just disappears, I have other stuff to do. I have a living. I have a career. But the only reason why I would have a problem with it is because of, you know, everybody that watches with me. That's the only reason why. I care about all my viewers and all my subscribers too much, and I want to be there for people who are struggling. That's all I care about. Like, I love checking out new artists. I love hearing new music. I love connecting with new artists. But the biggest thing I love and I appreciate the most is the community that has developed over the past, you know, year and a half, 2 years. And I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that camaraderie that we've all developed. As for like the reaction videos and stuff, that's whatever. If YouTube took that away, that's fine. But I would be more concerned with me losing everybody and not being able to be there for people. That's all I really care about, you know. But yeah, a lot of people look at their YouTube or look at whatever it is as their revenue stream. That is their source of income. That is how they pay their bills each month. And I get it. You have to be extra protective then. But I'm only protective because I don't want to lose people. I don't want to lose. I don't want people to miss out on having somebody there that's willing to be there for them. Because I know what it's like to go through shit alone and
Right.
not have somebody be by your side. You know, so yeah, it's a very hard, it's a very thin line to walk, and it's tough for people to do. And like you said, they don't understand that you can't always do what you want to do. And you might even agree with what that person's saying, but you can't, because then you're going to lose this, and in turn, it's just going to ruin everything. And like right now, I have 2 copyright strikes on my channel, so like I'm only reacting to stuff that I know, like, you know, meow, how you doing, kitty? I'm only reacting to stuff that I know I'm not going to get in trouble for. So people are like, why aren't you checking out this artist? Why aren't you checking out that artist? It's like, because I was, and all of a sudden I randomly got a copyright strike. And then if I get one more, the channel's gone. You know, I always have 2 copyright strikes. I always have 2 copyright strikes. I can't remember a time when I didn't have 2 copyright strikes and I wasn't walking the line. It's crazy.
Were you like waiting for one to expire?
It's 90 days. Yeah, it's 90 days. So as soon as one expires, I'll like get a random one from a video I did a year ago. And I'm like, I've been collecting revenue on it, or it's just been sitting there for a year. How you're supposed to give somebody a warning for first. You give somebody 7 days to take down the video. And if you don't take it down within 7 days, they give you a copyright strike. Well, some labels can skip that whole step and instantly strike you. And that keeps happening to me after I've been reacting and supporting the artists. And I still stay subscribed to them. I still show love to them. But I've even reached out to a bunch of these record labels that I even know personally outside of the reacting community because I've worked with them with my own label. And I'm like, why are you doing this? And like they don't respond back to me. It's weird. I've never seen anything like it. It's got to be something to do with YouTube. I don't even think it's them.
Yeah, I don't know. They're on some kind of shenanigans. To be honest, welcome in, Aaron. I just saw you pop in. No, I just think that I think that I think there's an ebb and flow when it comes to channels, like where people. There's some people that are straight reaction channels, and then there's people that kind of want to branch off into other things to do, other content. Of course, reactors aren't the only type of channel that's out there, so obviously I'm talking about a very specific, lane. But I've noticed that people have started branching out a lot more lately. A lot of people are trying to do different types of content, whether it be podcasting, guests, the lives, gaming, which, I'm always here for.
I like how you just I'm always kind of here for.
I was trying to be enthusiastic, but I didn't pull it off.
It's okay.
I don't mind, actually. I don't mind. It depends on what it is. It depends on who it is. It depends on what I'm doing. Since I have so little free time,
yeah,
I'd rather be reading. I know that's mean, but it's true.
No, I get it. I tell people all the time, like, get off my channel and go do something. Go enjoy life. I tell people all the time.
Like, go outside. Go sit outside. I sit outside all the time. Yeah. Dude, like, stop. You're on camera.
Yeah.
He was like licking.
Let's have a conversation with the cat. Spark up a doobie and let's get him talking. No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's just being weird. Yeah, like Ben says, exactly. People do more political talk now. And it's funny because you see this go two types of ways, right? So people do reaction channels and they realize that there are people in their comments like, oh, I'm so glad what you said. Oh, I loved what you said. Oh, what you said was amazing. So like, oh, everybody wants to hear what I have to say all the time. So what do? They start a podcast, or they start going live and talking about things all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get mad and they're like, why isn't this working wonderfully? Why am I not getting all these subscribers? I'm like, because you're in a different lane. Because sure. Look at me. I have 500 subscribers. I just hit 500. I'm now almost to 600. And I started in January. Okay. I could do 2 reactions. I could do 1 reaction. I could hit 1,000. Like that.
Yeah,
and I know
possibly. Possibly, yeah.
I know I could. Only because I've seen enough to know which ones I would do. Like if I really wanted to just like nail it and then like take it down later. But I don't do that. But they don't understand that the growth is different depending on the type of content you do.
Correct.
So people that are subscribing to reaction channels are hopefully, like the whole goal is that they're subscribing for you. That's what you want. Yeah. And those are the ones that interact consistently. They stick around. They talk to you. You see them always in your comments. And so the other type of person is the one who says, oh, I like Tom, so they subscribe to you.
Correct.
Or I like Easy Mill, so they subscribe. Or I like, Beatbox, so they subscribe. Because they're basically dormant unless you do that again. So you're going to have higher numbers, but less interaction, I guess is the word.
No, you're 100% right. And I noticed that too, that's just, so people, if that's one thing about being a breakdown channel or a reaction channel is, you're right. They are subscribing to see someone they like react to their artist. And if you're not reacting or breaking down their artist, they're not going to watch it. Unless that's why you see people with, 4 or 5 million subscribers, but they only get 100,000 views on their video. You know what I'm saying? Like you're only going to get a small percentage of your actual subscribers that are going to be there for you. That's why like on my videos, I might have 65,000 subscribers. Sorry, my nose keeps itching. My nose itches every time I'm doing videos. I don't know why. This camera, the electricity or something. But yeah, you might see that number But then you will see some of my videos only will get 1,000 views or 6,000 views, or some of my videos will go to 500,000 views or 1,000,000 views. It's just, it all depends on that artist and how the algorithm is working. But those subscribers, I'll get messages all the time like, you haven't reacted to this person. If you don't react to this person soon, I'm unsubscribing. And I'm just like, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I hope whatever's troubling you gets better. And, I'm here for the whole community, not just this one artist. If you have to unsubscribe or you're using that as like, blackmail or like to hold that over my head, then please unsubscribe and take care of yourself. I tell people that all the time because that's not good. It's not healthy for either. That's not a healthy relationship for either the viewer or the person creating the content. But yeah, that's just a part of the game, and I get it. And you're right. Like if you did go create a reaction channel and you did a few reactions, I do think there has to be some type of uniqueness though, because and you have it. You already have it.
Yeah, I would be that ratchet person trying to stream or do videos with no editing, right? Because I don't know how.
yeah.
With no editing, with my cat running around yelling at me in the background.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be it.
I mean, but I don't know. There's a lot of channels out there that just they can't, and like it's just this weird. I don't want to say too much because it's gonna sound so wrong, and I know someone will clip it, and then I'll sound like a dick.
Do you want me to
But
say it?
sure,
So there are a lot of channels that are out there that, it doesn't matter. Like, you could be sitting in a cardboard box on the side of the road. If you can engage your audience, if you can get people to like what you're saying, if you can interact with them, and if you can talk to them, if you can keep it going, if you can sound intelligent. Well, I guess not everybody needs to sound intelligent, but then it doesn't matter. Like, some of those things don't matter.
mm.
And there are some channels that are out there that are just like, oh my god, what are you doing? Stop. My cat's an asshole.
Look back at you like, what'd you just say to me?
There are some channels that are out there that are complaining and like, how come I don't have more subscribers? It doesn't make sense. And I'm like, but doesn't it? But doesn't it? Not every channel is going to succeed. Not every person is amazing and wonderful. Not everyone is going to like you, me, or anybody.
Mm.
You just have to appeal to the right niche of people and have them find you. If that doesn't happen, then... Or if you're annoying and rude.
Yeah, well, some people even like annoying and rude, and they want to just be a part of that.
There's a dude who has a disclaimer. Every video that he does, I can't remember who it is. Every video he says, he says, I have a disclaimer, and it says, you don't have to like what I'm saying. I'm gonna be an asshole if I don't like stuff. I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole, I'm an asshole, is what he says. So then in the middle of the video, he literally just like tears into things and talks shit. And he's like, he goes, don't come at me in the comments. I told you, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to be real. I'm like, being real doesn't mean being a douchebag. Like, it's not necessary.
But you got to realize that's what attracts views. Like, think about it. People want to watch, and now I'm just going to say, because I don't think you really cover what I was talking about. All right, you know how people react to Eminem, right?
Mm.
And how he's the biggest draw for any reaction channel.
Right.
One is because of his talent, obviously. He's the biggest hip hop artist we've ever seen in our lifetime. He is the 6th highest solo selling artist of all time. He's got 3 diamond albums. He sold over 220 million copies. He is our generation's biggest artist, right? He is the Elvis, the Beatles. That's what Eminem is to our generation. Unless you're doing breakdowns of where you studied his music already, and you can explain all of the different flow patterns and pockets and rhyme schemes and all that stuff, and actually teach people hip hop, that'll work. But you're not going to gain a lot of traction, and this is going to sound wrong too, unless you're like a very good looking person, like a very attractive woman who's just jumping around, just doing dumb. You know what I'm saying? People are attracted to stuff like that, and they will quick to hit the subscribe button for stuff like that. So they're looking for attractive people. The color of your skin can make a difference. The way you act or overreact. You know what I'm saying? Like, that all plays a part, and that's what really garners all that attention. Or unless you're just being yourself and having fun with people, and you just have a great personality. But only that could only get you so far too at the same time. But like I said, if you really want to break it down for Eminem, like white people, this is going to sound horrible, white people want to see different ethnicities reacting to their favorite artist, Eminem. That is just a fact.
That's
so
true.
that's why you see these some of these channels that'll have 20,000 subscribers, but their Eminem videos will have fucking 4 or 5 million views. It's the, what I'm saying? They want to see that, or they want to see a beautiful woman jump around with barely any clothing on, and not even announcing or acknowledging one bar, and then just ending the video abruptly at the end. But they somehow get all these views. But it's obvious what it is.
So you're telling me to get subscribers, I need to wear less clothes and jump around?
Take it
Preferably
all.
after I turn into a gorgeous model-esque,
Yes,
camera ready, not less
saying,
less red, because I don't know.
There's no red. There's no red. You're fine. I don't even see red. I have more red on my face.
I actually went to the store to try to get makeup to make this for my eyeglass. See, for my sunglasses, to make that go away.
Oh, wouldn't even notice if you didn't say that. But yeah, so no, I was just basically saying,
but you're correct. You're absolutely correct, because see, that's what John just said. He says that's how I got into reaction videos. I started watching an African American react to the music I grew up with.
And that is the honest to God truth. And it even happened to me the first time I seen No Life Shack. I think Eminem dropped, I don't know if it was Revival or what it was. It was something maybe before Revival. It was like 2017, 2018. And I listened to Eminem's song because it came out. And then I seen like a thumbnail of a gentleman reacting to it. And I'm like, what is this? And I clicked it. And he was funny as fuck. I thought he was a little bit overreacting a bit, but I thought it was funny. And, I could see myself instantly wanting to go down that rabbit hole, but I was like, I don't want to do that because I'm going to be listening to Eminem songs too much, and I can't do that for my own writing's sake. But that's what sells. Like, think about it. Like, Mr. Beast. Am I saying his name right? Mr. Beast? Is it Mr. Beast or Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast?
Mr. Beast. Like, he does this over-the-top, super edited, videos for these little kids, and he does a lot of good things with his money. Though.
Oh, I don't know who that guy is. I was thinking you meant that guy with all the money who gives away all that money.
Well, see, that's the thing. So that is him. You're thinking of the same person. But he makes a lot of money, and then he gives some of it away. Correct. But I've heard him on Joe Rogan's podcast and stuff like that. But it's what he's doing. He's appealing to kids. He takes what's the hottest trending topic now. He takes all the money he has or invests it into the next video, basically, doing something where someone's going to win a bunch of money or doing some absurd, crazy idea. But it's all like, I've watched one of them where something about you should be able to, with a magnet, pull a penny through the earth or something from one side of the earth to the other. And it was like a whole prank video, but it had millions of views, but it was just like, I don't know what you want to say, what kind of comedy that is, but it like wasn't like appealing to me, but I could see where it could be appealing to an 8-year-old or a 12-year-old. And honestly, like me as a writer, that's my target audience. I'm told to write towards that generation. Like I know what I'm supposed to do. So as a content creator, he knows what he's doing. Every artist knows what they're doing when they're trying to make money or profit off of somebody is what I'm saying. Or gain subscribers or viewers. They know what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not... I agree. I mean, that's the thing, though, is it's like... I just love people that are true to who they are. And, I mean, I could be in a mood to watch one type of content one day and a different type the next day. I don't watch the same thing all the time. I don't watch the same people every time. Now, it depends if it's Tom drops a song. I've got my top ones. You're one of them. Like, I'll click the second it comes out. You see my comment pop up, Yeah. So, but that's the thing. Mom, stop talking about Ben in a G-string.
Ben's in a G-string?
Ben said that he's going to start a channel in a G-string.
It might blow up?
My mom said, send me the link. He.
See? He's already got a subscriber.
And then she said she'd be a mod.
That's funny. YouTube might copyright strike you, though, the boss. I don't know if that's going to work out too well for you. Us as men, we can't do that stuff.
We could try. Um, but no,
We could try.
I just, that's the thing I like about talking to people because it's like, I'm trying to think of how to put it. I mean, I understand that there's an it factor that people have. Like, to me, it doesn't matter, but I get it, you know? I
Hmm.
don't want to, I mean, when I picture the people in my books, I'm not picturing like, Joe Schmo.
Yeah.
They're supermodels walking around. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
It's understandable. That's what appeals to people. There's science behind it. There's biology, chemistry, whatever, pheromones. There's all kinds of stuff.
Well, it's what society has also implanted into our
Mm,
brains since we were children. You know what I'm saying? This is something where Disney movies is the prince is saving the princess and everyone's super good looking, full head of hair, long, beautiful hair, perfect bodies, perfect face structure. Like this is all still a thing. If you go on TikTok or YouTube, you'll see like, all these people with all these views are either, very young, very beautiful, very short clips, wearing barely any clothing, or like I said, different skin colors, listening to other different ethnicities, listening to other different ethnicities. Like there is a rhythm, so to speak, to being able to get your music heard. Just like with Tom McDonald, I call him a genius all the time, and on my last comment, he said I wouldn't call myself a genius, but thanks, thanks, and I appreciate you,
I was
brother.
watching one of that comment popped up because I refresh the comments as I watch, just
Yeah.
because why not? And I saw him pop up, and I was like,
And,
haha.
and I jokingly said to him, I was like, you know damn well what you're doing, brother, with your artistry and your craft. Because as a writer, you know what you're doing. And Tom is very smart because even if you don't like, you hate him or you love him, he's going to draw your attention because he says some stuff that might be offensive to a lot of people. I know Tom now. I'm familiar with his music. I'm used to it. But when I first heard it, I was like, ooh, I don't know if that's appropriate or not. But now I'm like, I love that he's doing that shit. Because you're going to be in his uh, you're going to be saying his name. You're going to be talking about what he just said, even if it's right or it's wrong. It's just because it's such a heavy topic to talk about, and he can word it in such a way, musically that it sounds so good too. He's a very good artist, very good rapper. He produces amazing beats. Um,
Definitely.
but his writing is off the charts because he's doing something that Eminem used to do in the beginning of his career, which was take very, polarizing topics and talk about them in a, I won't say skewed, but in a alternate light to get people to look at it in a different way. And people will be like, I don't think it's appropriate, or I think that is the right way. It gets people talking about that topic at hand. And he does it all the time with his music. And that's why I said he's a genius. And I have to do similar things. Like I said, depending on the artist that I'm working with, I know if I have to rap about, I know if I have to write about stuff going on in the street, stuff going on with celebrities. I have to know what's going on or do research on it before I write about it, and I know how to turn that light. You know what I'm saying, to get you to want to keep listening to it. It's like a shock value almost,
Hmm.
and that's what draws people in. It's just what you're aiming at. Kind of like Tekashi 6ix9ine. You're familiar with him, right?
Barely, thank God.
But I'm saying, like, he had this gimmicky look with the rainbow hair and the rainbow teeth and the rainbow everything. And then he wasn't even a good rapper. He would just scream on a beat, but it would sound good because the beat was very catchy and it was aimed at kids because they're not, they could repeat the words back because it was very easy to say back, but it wasn't any good. It was just a catchy beat and it was a look. It was a gimmick. And his whole gimmick is I'm this thug that just, what I'm saying, like I'm this thug. I own New York. This and that. But as soon as he went to jail and all that shit happened, he ratted on everybody.
Mm.
Look at it. He's gone. His gimmick got destroyed, so he's no longer relevant. They know it's not real. They know it's not true. And
No, and that
that's a
it
go
irritates
ahead.
the crap out of me. I understand what you're saying, and because obviously I have kids. I have 17-year-old and an 8-year-old in the home right now.
Hmm.
So to gear that kind of stuff, especially the reason I don't listen to the radio, I don't listen to mainstream, I don't watch TV for the most part, I don't go to movies, like, so I don't hear any kind of mainstream stuff ever. So
Hmm.
I'm actually completely clueless when it comes to what's out there in the last 2-3 years than pretty much anybody. I have
Yeah.
no idea because I literally don't, unless I happen to hear about it, talk about it, or run into it.
Mhm.
It just irritates me from the few things I have seen, knowing full and well that those are geared towards kids, because there's things that should not be. You do not aim that part at my child. Like, that's not okay. Um,
Yeah.
like when it comes to the gimmicks that they're pulling and the way that they're trying to get, Lil Nas X or Cardi B or whoever. I'm naming the extremes, of course, but
Those are good examples.
that don't aim that at my kids. Like, I understand that that's where you're gonna get like the groupies, the screaming fans and stuff. Exactly, but see,
It's money.
that's right. That kills me, because I'll tell you right now, my kids don't get money to buy that shit.
Well, no, I know, but it's not even so. I'll break it down for you. The music industry is very simple. They literally direct their music towards women and kids. That's it. That's who spends money on music. Well, these days now it's streams, it's clicks. So you don't have to spend money anymore, mama. All you got to do is your kid has to have a tablet or a phone and just keep watching and listening to the song over and over again. So
True.
you no longer have to spend any money, and it'll never change. They were able to adjust with it. It'll never stop. Um, and when it does come to like collectibles and stuff like that, it's shown that kids and especially women will spend money on stuff like that rather than men. That's just scientifically proven, and it's just that's what they teach you when you do start writing and start working on music in the music industry. Um, and that's why these days I tell any artist that reaches out to me, they're like, "Oh, I want to get signed to a label." I'm like, "No, you don't. It's a dying breed. They within the next, I would say, 10, 20 years, you'll have maybe one or two major labels. But if you notice, if you hear of any artist being signed to a label, like new, they don't do too well. But if you hear about them on YouTube or going independent, all of a sudden they're fucking blowing up with just their small team that they're working with. Because you don't need that anymore. A label is basically there to back you up financially and also to market you. That's all it is. So basically, you're signing a contract and getting money up front that you're eventually going to have to pay back with your own work in your project. So you're in debt projects. So you'll sign a record, you'll sign a deal, and you got to produce 3 albums, and here's $500,000. Once the albums are done, you got to pay that $500,000 back. You gotta generate that revenue, but then we'll give you the other $500,000 on that end. But in the meantime, they're also leasing you jewelry, cars, all this other stuff that you eventually have to go back anyway. So all these rappers, they end up going broke, or even worse, they end up going in debt to these companies, and they own them for the rest of their lives. It's crazy, and I've watched it happen way too many times. That's why everybody that comes to me, I say, don't stay independent. If you think you can't be heard, you're wrong. You're just approaching topics the wrong way. You need to have. I'm literally giving the formula right now how to write hit music is, just touch on topics that are popular right now, and just have a personality or even a gimmick. If you really want to blow up quickly, that's all you got to do. But the one thing I am happy about, and I'm sorry I'm going on a bit of a tangent here, is lyrical rap is coming back, and conscious rap is coming back. And it's taken a little while for it to take that turn, but there was a good I want to say like 15 years there where it was just like, oh no, like it's just all like think in 2016, 2015 era, how many one hit wonders there were with like that mumble rap sound.
Maybe maybe that generation grew up a little bit. Like, so they're now focusing on starting their families, and they're not influencing as much because they're busy. Maybe.
Well, that, and also like I said, the listener is always changing. The audience is always going with what's popular. So if you notice right now, there's a trend that like with clothing and stuff too, like the '90s is back.
'90s has always been present in my life. Okay, that is. You
I'm
could
saying
just
like if you
transplant
go,
me back there, and I'd be happy.
I'm saying from a financial standpoint, from a marketer standpoint, the
Mm-hmm.
'90s is back. That the little middle part down your hair with the guys and it kind of scrunchy on the sides, and the baggy clothing, the oversized shirts are coming back. The
Skater
baggy
pants, Jankos. Let's
The
go.
Janko jeans, I would say the Janko jeans are coming back. Even women, they got almost like the bell bottoms or like really loose jeans are coming back. Like
Ooh, boot
everything
cut,
goes.
nice. And
I'm
are they gonna
saying
do the overalls and the baby tees and the guys' boxers?
that was more or less '80s going into the '90s, but it's a possibility. You never know. But it's like social media ruined trends, and it almost died off as soon as the internet started. No new trends have really been started since the internet began. Because before then, things would catch like wildfire, and that would be what was going on. Well, now you got the internet. There's not going to be any more trends. They're just going to keep on reverting back to old stuff over and over again, because it was popular at one point. Even like with Cobra Kai, the TV show on Netflix. It's based off of Karate Kid. You know how like movies, they always keep remaking the same movie over and over again. Well, it's the same thing with music. They just keep remaking the same stuff over and over again. But I am happy that lyrical rap is coming back because it makes my job a lot easier. I actually hate having to dumb myself down. It is hard for me to dumb myself down because I'll be sitting there listening to one of my artists reciting some of my words, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe I had to write that shit. And I get so frustrated that like that's what I have to work on, and I know that there's nothing intellectual about it. There's the only thing to gain is money for the artist and for the label, and that's a part that hurts me. But I mean, it's what I signed up for. So
Well, I'm glad it is coming back, honestly, because my biggest issue is I would listen to the radio if you could get. Here's a perfect example. Brandon Hart is radio ready. His music is radio ready right now. It is clean, so you don't have to you can't complain about that. It has good messages. It sounds good. It's appealing to a mid demographic, like a lot, like kids like it. Families like it, parents like it. Like it's like a thing. He's likable, right? His sound is likable. If you could get someone like him onto a radio station, that would be different. But now all of it comes on, and I'm like, who the fuck is this person? And then the sound, and I remember there was one time I was arguing with my teenager, and I said, oh well, this is who did I think it was? This is Lil whoever, and she's like, no, Mom. I'm like, okay, then it's like Drake, is that? And she's like, Mom. I'm like, what? And she's like, no, it's Travis Scott. And I'm like, oh, okay. I thought they all sound the same. I mean, I understand there's differences, but I don't listen to their music like a whole song to know the difference. But you turn it on, and it's like same lyrical content, the same words, the same subjects. There's nothing different. There's nothing that stands out. It just was, but there was like 3 or 4 artists at one time that all had songs out that sounded like it was when Lucid Dreams was out. It was right around that time.
you're thinking about the Migos. Raindrop, drop top, cooking the hook in the crock pot. That's what you're thinking of. Everyone started taking the hippity hop, hippity hop.
And it's like everything. It's like you hear a song come out, and then it'd be like, 3, 4 other songs that sound just like it, and it's like, didn't this one just come out? Oh no, this is brand new. Okay.
Yeah. No, you're 100% right. You're right. And there was something else I wanted to touch on, but I totally forgot what it was. But yeah, and that's the hardest part of my job is watching that happen. And I know what I was gonna say. So you mentioned Brandon Hart and how he's ready. He's radio ready. These days the radio doesn't matter anymore.
True.
It's just like cable TV. It doesn't matter as long as you could appeal to the masses, and a label could just put you on social media. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
that's what ends up happening to these big names that you hear. They end up signing a deal to someone, and they get a bunch of money because you don't get that much money off advertising from TikTok. You actually end up getting picked up from a label or a management company that pays you to make content for them. That's where things are starting to change now. So like when you see, like I get approached all the time to do promotions on my channel and stuff, and I refuse it. I will not do it. And then when I do talk to people and they find out I am with a label, but I'm not making money for my label through YouTube for actually writing music, they instantly know that I can't do that because I'm already signed to a label contractually outside of YouTube. But that's what ends up happening to bigger content creators, I think. It's not that I think, I know. They end up getting picked up that way. And that's why I just tell everyone to go independent. If you have the it factor, you will appeal. Okay, you might have to put a couple $1,000s to get a jump start into your advertising so that your your songs are played on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or you might have to just keep putting out content after content. It's a lot of extra work, but you know what? If you have it finally clicks for you, you're gonna blow up if you have it. But a lot of people think they have it, but they don't have it. There's just a certain it factor I can't explain. You can hear it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
Yeah.
No, I get it because there's, it's that same thing that makes you stop when you're changing the channel or you're scrolling through. Like, well, I mean, I keep saying radio because I used to listen to it when I was growing up, and there was all the great artists and stuff, in the 90s.
Yeah. The 90s.
To be honest, use the radio. You have your cassette tape ready.
Oh yeah.
And you'd be like trying to catch it, and so it'd be like DJ, or like mix 93.3 Kansas City. It was always in there, and then you'd hit the record button, and then you'd forget to stop it, so that it would like record everything. You had to rewind it and find the sweet spot for the next time you caught a song, like that kind of stuff. Like that, it was our life. We listened to it, and now you run into random things. I've actually seen ads on Instagram for artists, and I'm like, why? They have like 200 followers, they have like 3 songs, and they have ads on Instagram. I'm like, but for why?
Yeah.
And then you hear them, and it's like, ooh, like, no. Don't push your advertisements now. Wait till you know how to sing, and then do it. Like, wait, because it just is what it is. I think people can be found now. No, I just think people can be found now. I think you're completely correct in that nobody needs to do that. They can advertise themselves.
Okay, look at it this way. I'll even make it easier for you. So no matter what kind of an artist you are, if you're a country artist, a hip hop artist, a jazz musician, a vocal coach, whatever the hell you may be, write songs that are relatable to people, that make people feel like, hey, this is about my life. How many times have you heard a song and said, oh, this makes me think of what's going on with me. This has happened to me. Was this written for me? Everyone thinks their life is Truman Show. Think about it. Everyone thinks the world revolves around them. So if you're able to tap into something, to write a song to make you think, oh, this is about me. This is my life right here in a short story form. You won. You've got your followers. They're not going to go anywhere because you related one time to them. They have a song to listen to for the rest of their life that they will always associate with themselves and that one particular time frame in their life. So that's all you really have to do. It's not as easy as it sounds, but you just have to be able to relate to your listeners. That's why, like, country songs are always the same, or hip hop songs are usually always the same, because if you're living that street life, well, what are you going to rap about? Street stuff. If you're living in the country, what are you going to talk about? Street country stuff. Sitting in your in your pickup truck at the gas station or after a football game, like that's what you have to talk about or sing about. And artists know that. That's how they get you drawn in. You can relate to it. That's the easiest way to put it.
I'm excited for the date and time that's in the future, where money on the table, gun in hand, drugs, all of that, hot women, that's not going to be like, I can't watch most songs videos because I'm like, and especially when you get that vibe that somebody's really not about it, like you're just not about that life. Yeah. And then they're out there rapping and they're like waving a gun around and they're like got cash and they're like, ooh, get cash. You're like, it's not believable, but they're this huge person. I watch some of every once in a while I'll catch one of the trending videos and I'm like, but why? I cannot figure it out. And so maybe I'm just like the oddball.
Little kids see it.
God help us. No, sincerely, then God help us, because what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, think about it though. Think about like a 5-6-year-old version of yourself being up late at night one night and seeing a music video out, or being on YouTube, and you see somebody with fancy cars and beautiful people around them and all bags of money. It's appealing, but as you get older, you realize people with a lot of money don't flash money.
That's why they still have it. No, Mom, I did not stay up at night listening to music. I promise.
I did. I'm sorry. But I
Yes,
mean,
and yes, Mom, every single band that I told you was a Christian band was really a Christian band.
yes, and I'm going to mass right after this, Mom, just so you know. Sunday mass starts at 3 o'clock for me, so I will be there, Mom. I promise. No, but I mean, like, I hope the message that I'm relaying isn't taken in like a harsh tone or a negative light. I'm just trying to inform people on exactly how it works, and I think a lot of people get a little confused on how it works and why it works that way. And I'm not a fan of it either, and I'm not saying like, I'm not bragging or saying I'm proud of. I am proud of what I do. I am proud of the music that I write because there has been music that I've written that I worked on that I know has helped people. Like I know it has. I've watched these artists, do great things, and it's a positive message. But then there's also songs that I'm not proud of, but I know I have to do it because someone else is going to do it regardless. Might as well just be me. It's the way I make my living.
Right.
That's why people always ask me, like, "Oh, Cliff, like, if you ever left your contract, would you go and make your own music by yourself?" And I go, "I don't. I mean, I would make music by myself because I could never stop. It's what I do. Every like how you said you read. Like my life revolves around writing music. It's 24/7. I'll be gaming. I don't know if you guys notice this, but I'll be gaming. I'll instantly go on my phone. I'll start typing something because I thought of something while I'm in the middle of gaming. I can't help it. And I don't know if I could because with who I truly am, you guys already seen it on YouTube. Um, and I come from the South Side of Chicago. I have a little bit of a darker side to me that I really don't show on YouTube, like you said earlier, to kind of protect the channel. Um, and my music would relay a bit of that if I was to do it my own way. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know exactly how I would approach that situation since I've already painted this picture of me on YouTube. So it would be a very hard thing to do. I still could put out music, but it would just be people would be like, "Wow, like his music's a lot different than his reactions and breakdowns." And it's like, holy shit, people wouldn't expect it.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, is, I think that anybody, and you don't need me to say this, you obviously, of all people in the entire world, there's pretty much nothing that I can say that would be advice to you when it comes to doing what you love and, writing what matters
Hmm.
and, putting a piece of yourself into it to a point where it's relatable, believable, and true.
Hmm.
Um, but you already don't know all that. There's nothing I can say.
Well, it's kind of like how you said earlier, like I can go make a reaction video right now and get 1,000 subscribers. So well, I can go write a song right now and record it myself, and I can go, sell albums. Like I already do it for people. I could do it for myself, but that's like to me, it's almost like a cheap way out for me. Like I kind of enjoy what I do, and I honestly like even with YouTube. Like we talked about this before. Like I never expected to have a channel to blow up or get 166,000 subscribers. I didn't expect any of that, and I don't regret it for one moment. But I never expected it, and yeah, I don't want to have millions of people watching my every move and not be able to grocery shop without signing autographs and stuff like that. I'm not trying to sound pretentious or anything either. I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I'm some amazing person. I'm not. I'm just saying like I couldn't live that lifestyle if that was to happen. I couldn't do it. I need
Right.
my freedom. I need my freedom. I need to be able to like when we go when you go to the beatboxing thing. I want to be able to go to the bush battle and not have to be too bombarded or anything else like that. Like I don't mind a few pictures and stuff like that. Like when I went to the Harry Mack show, it was kind of cool because I was just like, you know, I did kind of get swarmed by a bunch of people. There were a lot of reactors were there. A lot of people who watched the channel were there, and it was fun. It was fun. Don't get me wrong, but even security had to come out because I went to the front of the stage and I was saying what's up to like that singer's reaction, and there were other reactors there that I didn't know that were introducing themselves, and then like people who were fans of the channel were taking pictures and stuff, and I loved every moment of it. I loved doing it for people. I just felt bad because then like I looked behind me, there was like a line of people. Security had to come like you can't be on the front of the stage, and I'm like I'm sorry, dude. Like I didn't know. Like I didn't know that this many people were here. So I went and I sat back down, but like I could do that every once in a while, but I couldn't do that like all the time.
No, I understand that. Like, people are like, oh, I hope that, like, for example, this channel, I hope this channel like, oh, I hope you get, like, it blows up. And I'm like, because I still got kids in the house, right?
Yeah.
I still got kids in the house. I've got a full-time job. So, you want to bombard me with all of a sudden this huge influx of comments, requests, people, all that stuff. You want to do that, and then I'm like, I fall on my face because I am not ready for it. Like I'm good with slow and steady. I'm good with that. I'm loving every minute of it, and I love the best thing about all of this is you guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the community, and it's everybody that I am lucky to that people give me the time of day. I am
No.
lucky that I reach out on Instagram and people are like, "Oh, hey, who are you? Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll check it. Yeah, not a problem. Yeah, talk. We'll talk. And they have no clue who I am. Or my other fun one is when somebody knows who I am and I didn't know they knew.
Hmm.
Do you know
Okay.
what I mean? And like, I'm talking about like some type of content creator, and they're like, "Oh, hey, I see you all the time."
Yeah.
And they're like, "I really like what you do," and I'm like, "That was really cool." But the
Yeah.
community comes back time and time again because they want the same thing I do. They want to meet cool people. They want to hear the conversations. They want to spend time on a personal level with people that deserve to have time spent with them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do you see this?
I do. There's hands. There's doors opening.
Honey.
People are crawling. Uh-oh. We need a light turned on.
Hey, we can need water too. Okay, come here.
Hi.
This is Bailey.
Oh, Hi, Bailey. I don't know if she can hear me because you got headphones on.
Hi, Bailey. Okay.
Eskimo kisses.
She booped me.
Oh, booped? It was a boop? Oh, I got you.
But yeah, it's I'm super lucky to have the opportunity to talk to people, the people that are coming on the channel, the people that have been on the channel, but the community
yeah.
itself, they're here every day, all the time. They show up, even if they just drop a like and they dip out, like they genuinely care. And most of them genuinely care about meeting people. They'll show up to people they don't even know.
Yeah.
I'll say, "Oh, I've got Bob Schlitterhausen coming on."
Schlitterhausen? I got Bob Schlitterhausen. Where do you get Schlitterhausen from?
Came from the air.
That
I
was
literally
a great
snatched
name.
that one right out of my...
That was a strong name right there. Schlitterhausen.
But no, I mean...
I get what you're saying.
They'll show up anyway.
Yeah, the only thing I was saying was, like, I meant, like, on a super large... Like I said, like, I watch people who are, like, the biggest artists of our time, and I see how miserable they really are in person. And I'm like, there's no... Like, what's the point in having all that money and all that freedom or celebrity status if you can't even move around? Like, that's got to be horrible. Like, I like where I'm at. I like being able to do my music thing. I like being able to, have some people that I'm friends with, and like you said, have this wonderful community. And I'm lucky, like, I love it even like when artists on YouTube, they watch my reactions and they reach out to me and like, "Hey man, I really appreciate what you're doing. Like, thank you." And I'm like, "No, hey man, thank you for, or woman, thank you so much for sharing your work with me and the world and your inspiration. And I appreciate you." And they're like, "Oh no." And I just love, you know what I'm saying? And I can't deal with like too much negativity. If something's negative in my life, I cut it out instantly, even if it's family. Like I always say, like, even if family's putting you down, love from a distance. You can always love someone from a distance, yeah. And I just meant like the overwhelming factor of being so big that you can't even go to an airport or can't go to a grocery store. Like I couldn't fathom that. Like us as human beings, that's not normal. Like this stuff isn't normal for anybody to live through. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I really feel for those people. I know it's like, oh, woe is me, too boo-hoo, you got $200 million in the bank. It's like, well, that person with $200 million in the bank can't even spend their money the way they want to spend it. They have to rent out a whole theme park for one day if they want to take their daughter on one ride,
And see,
and I know. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I was just gonna say, and I know on the opposite side of being broke and having nothing, that it sounds like kind of dickish, like, oh, like, yeah, it must be easy for you to say or easy for that person to say. It's not. It sucks on both ends. So there's got to be like a middle ground where you just find happiness, you know, and contentness and here and be comfortable. Like I know people who make 40, 50 grand a year that are happier than people who have hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's just crazy to see like it really is all that's in here and in here. It's not about what's in your wallet or bank account. It's just yeah, that's where I was going with that.
Well, I was going to say the one thing that I think is interesting is how much everybody wants to be super mega famous and rich, right? Super popular, everybody
100%.
loves them, they're amazing, they make all this money, they can get anything they want.
Hmm.
But nobody really thinks about there's a reason that a lot of the people who are super famous, super rich, super like in the spotlight, or people who old money, lots and lots and lots and lots of old money, there's a reason that they're a bit weird.
Oh yeah,
Because it's different. It's a different lifestyle that, I'm sorry, I don't think I see anyone in the chat who literally has lived that life. So I'm just saying, people judge. They're like, oh, well, why are they doing this crazy shit? And it's like, well, I don't know. Wouldn't you snap at some point? You know,
yeah, that
with
and
security or children, being an issue, like trying to protect your kids, trying to protect yourself, trying to get some privacy. I don't know.
yeah,
Going
I'm
swimming without being judged or being taken pictures of or taken advantage of or people trying to get something from you. Like, the attacks would be constant, and it's the same with people with hate, with people with trying to take advantage, and it drives somebody a little bit batty. But then people get mad at them. They all want to be rich and famous, but then they get mad that the rich and famous people are a little bit cray cray, and then they also believe everything they say. So it's like,
yeah. Well, it's not. It's that you get a bunch of yes men and yes people around you that won't correct you like when you were when you were normal. You have money now, right? You have celebrity status, so people always want to say, oh, you're amazing, you're this, you're that, and they also want to get a few bucks out you. And the moment that you don't, as soon as you tell them like, like someone says, as soon as you have money, they'll ask you for money, and you're like, no. And they're like, oh man, you changed. It's like, no, you changed because you're asking me for money. When I was broke, you didn't ask me for a thing, and we had a great relationship. You know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? So like, it gets really weird. People weren't meant to have. We're supposed to be hunters and gatherers and nurturers. That's all we're supposed to be. So all this, I'm not a materialistic person at all. I'll never forget this one comment someone said to me. I don't remember the name, but they were like, "Oh, Cliff Beats, he's really a ghostwriter." Well, something like it must not be paying off well when he's recording videos in his mom's bedroom. I was like, okay, well, first off, this person is not happy. They got a lot of stuff going on. But I was thinking in my head, I'm like, man, like this person, like they are very materialistic, and they don't understand. Like I've said it all the time, like this stuff is leased. We don't take any of this with us. I don't believe in having a lot of fancy stuff. This is not my mom's bedroom. This is my office space in my condo. I don't even have a house. I'd rather have a condo because I don't have time to do yard work. But yeah, I'll never forget it. And I think a lot of people sometimes are just short-sighted, and they don't see the grass is always greener no matter where you're standing. You know what I'm saying? So it's always greener no matter where you're standing.
I don't know why people think that they can judge somebody on something. Like, if I can't see it, then you don't have it.
Yes.
I don't think it works like that, really. Like, if I don't see your money dripping off of you, then you must not have it. Like,
Yeah.
I think that just that tells you the person has no idea. Of course, I don't either. What it's like to have that kind of money. They don't understand it. I mean, I get my tax return, bro, and I'm like, I'm like, yay, I'm rich. I literally do. Like, I did it last year where I think I went into Discord. I'm like, I'm rich.
I'm rich. Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah,
But,
I mean,
that's the thing, though, is like, you can tell because people are like, oh, I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. The obviously the way to go would be to not spend it because the way that everything is going right now, you want to have that to fall back on. I mean, you're going to be laughing at their dumbasses from the bougie nursing home when you're an old fart because you saved and invested and you're like a trillionaire by the time you retire.
the bougie nursing home. Yeah, I mean, I think leaving something behind on this earth is more important than my Irish and more important side of me. It almost came out. Sounds like almost more important. I'm from Boston. I think that's more important than anything. Like you got to leave something behind, or leave something behind for your family. I don't have any kids. I don't plan on having any kids. So what I want to do, now I already have my music doing this thing, even though I don't get credit for it. I still know it's there. Um, I'm able to leave behind videos for people who feel alone, even when I'm gone. They'll be able to hear, hey, if you feel alone, there's someone always there that you could talk to, and I hopefully by then, that the community is big enough that it's able to sustain itself and everyone can rely and, lean on each other. That's why I love when I do those Twitches and those live streams and stuff, or get together like this. People are in the chat talking and they can have their own conversations with each other and connect and network, so that when content creators are gone, like, those communities still exist and they can all be there for each other. And then that can carry on throughout, what I'm saying? Like, I know eventually it might die off, but these videos are forever. They'll always be there, unless YouTube goes disappearing or something like that. But I think that's more important. And like you said, the whole money dripping off you thing, like, it's not real. When you see people doing that, they don't really have that money. It's all lease. It's not real. If you look at the richest people in the world, like, Mark Zuckerberg and, besides Jeff Bezos, he's a little flashy. But I mean, why not? He owns pretty much the world at this point. Let's just be real. But even like Elon Musk, like, sleeps in his office. I'm saying, or he'll sleep on friends' couches, or he like built like a small little $15,000 shack to live in. Like, he, people with a lot of money, they don't like. When I get money, like, I have two things that I spend money on that I'm bad at, and that's clothing. I buy a lot of clothing. I don't know why. I just like to have different clothes to wear, but I always wear the same thing: is a sweater, joggers, and I'm wearing these sandals. They're like $15 sandals from Amazon, Adidas. But I got a thing with clothing, and I like to also smell good, so I buy like fragrances and stuff, or cologne, as people will call it. But that's it. It's only musical equipment and stuff. But I count that as like my, it's investing. Even like my computer stuff. Like, I got a really good computer and monitors. Well, these monitors are free because Amazon messed up. But yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not really a materialistic person, and I think, like we were talking earlier, we're all shaped when we're kids to, keeping up with the Joneses and always have the next best thing and have the new car, the new TV, the better looking husband, the better looking wife, the better this, the better that, and I think, I hope as a society, as we, grow, that we start to just be happy with what we have. And, we have so many options now on our phone. I mean, I got my phone right now and I have so many options.
Well, that's the thing, is that I think that was our mistake as a society, because I think that aspiring to certain things doesn't mean you have to mimic them exactly. So, for example, you see someone doing well, right? You see someone doing well. They have a nice house. They have a nice car. They seem to have a nice marriage. They have 2.5 children and a cat and a dog and a fish, and like
You say 2.5? 2.5 children? Where did the other half go?
Hasn't come out yet. I don't know.
Oh my God. All right.
But no, like, you see all of that, right? And it's like, oh my God, I want that. Instead of coveting it, you aspire to it. If that's what you want, then realign your trajectory to get those things.
Yeah.
Don't be jealous. Don't be hateful. Don't be like, fuck you and you're half a kid. Like,
half a kid. Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, that's what people keep getting mad. People keep wanting things. They keep saying, well, if you don't show me that you have money, then I don't believe you. Well, who needs to do that? Like, instead of being like, well, I don't believe you, they're hating, right? So they're mad because they don't have money and they don't want to think you do either, and so they get salty about it. Aspire. If you want to be dripping with money, then make more money. You can't, oh, I make this much. Well, make more. Oh, you don't know how? Figure that out. Like, take the steps, change your path, change your stars, change your trajectory yourself. Quit putting it on other people. Just do it for you. Because if you can control it, then you're in charge of your own damn destiny.
We all are. And like you were just saying right there, like, comparison is the thief of joy. If you compare yourself to anybody, you're not doing anything good for you or the other person. Like, and you never know. Like, you could be looking at somebody and be jealous of them, and then one day have a relationship with them, and you could learn something from them. But you've already kind of like fucked it up for yourself because of your own envy and your bitterness because you're not there. And this is one thing too. Is like, you know how growing up we were taught college is everything. We all have to go to college and get a degree. Like now, your degree now just means you're $150,000 in debt. You know, like, not saying there aren't jobs out there that do require it. There are, but now it's more about who you know and experience. You know, uh, yeah, and we could honestly, if you want to like become a master at something, you can go on YouTube and study something for 6 months and be the best photographer, best editor, best problem solver in the world, or build houses. You can learn anything you want on the internet now. So, I mean, that's what I mean is like you said, change your trajectory. If you just have to have that mindset and discipline, you know, like to go out there and do it. That's all it really is. And we're blessed to be in this day and age to be able to have that, because think about it, back in the 70s or 80s, or even when I was a kid throughout the 90s, we didn't have that stuff. Remember back in the days when you'd be like, oh, I think, you know, be like, oh, well, you could just make something up. Like, Thomas Jefferson died in 1992 or 1984. And you'd be like, you couldn't look it up. You just had to be like, that person is fucking
You
wrong.
have to go to your set of encyclopedias at your mom's house.
Yeah.
And go through like the whole set that she bought like 85 years ago that she's not going
Yeah.
to buy another because they're too damn expensive.
Yep.
You go and have to look and search it up. Yeah, I know. We got all kinds of misinformation. It was great.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like today,
great.
we are like, if I don't know something right now, I could honestly just go, oh, hey Siri, or I can just go on my phone really quick, and oh, she heard me. Shit. She was like, oh, what do you need to say to me now? But that's what I'm saying. Like, I could learn anything at any moment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're blessed to have that. You know, people talk. I mean, I know times are tough right now after COVID and dealing with this recession and shit. Like, I think we're gonna have a few tough years, especially financially for the world. And that's why, like, during my live streams, I keep telling people, like, do not donate to me. Like, don't, because I want you to be okay. And I don't want to hear, you know, in a few years from now that person's in a tough spot. You know, I don't want anybody to be in a tough spot. I'd rather have them taking care of themselves. But yeah, I just want what's best for people, and I hope it's not too bad. But we'll see what happens. Like, the housing market right now is a nightmare. Everything is just.
My mom is selling my old house, and she's been over there every day getting it ready to sell.
Mhm.
And since spring, it's gone down like
Oh yeah.
10,000-20,000 down.
Well, interest rates. Well, just in case anybody doesn't know this about me, is I've always held multiple jobs. So even while being a ghostwriter, believe it or not, I can't. If I sit still and I have me time, people are always like, "Cliff, take a break. Go take some me time." That's when my anxiety kicks in. I have bad panic attacks. I get bad anxiety. I can't sit still. I always have to be doing something. They're like, where does he find time? I'm like, I can't. The only time I can have to myself is when I'm going to sleep. Otherwise, like, I'm having panic attacks. I don't know what it is. I have to keep myself busy. Where was I going with this before that?
You're saying that you multiple jobs.
Oh yeah. So, I worked. So I was delivering pizzas while I was a ghostwriter. I was bartending while I was a ghostwriter. I worked at a master distribution company that sold like memorabilia and collectibles. I mean, like, by, like, you know, boxes by the hundreds of thousands. You know, I've always had gigs while I did this, because I can't just have one thing. I have to have multiple things going on. And when COVID hit and I couldn't do anything, I was like, what? I'm going to lose my shit. I was literally like laying in bed having panic attacks every day. And that's why I was like, all right, let's turn my phone on and see if I can break down some old bars from Eminem songs that I haven't heard since I was, you know, maybe 12, 11 years old. And that's how this whole thing started. But yeah, this just goes back to, like, the situation we're in is take on multiple jobs, save up as much money as you can. And the housing market, I know I'm jumping all over the place, but the housing market with inflation I know where I was going. Real estate. I also did real estate. I was a real estate broker for Keller Williams. If you don't believe me, hold on. This is my old phone number, so it doesn't matter. But there's my card right here. Wait, hold on. Why is it not showing up? There it is.
Oh wow.
See, as I'm saying, like, I keep moving. I'm always doing stuff. So I had to go get my broker's license back in like 2016, and I got involved in real estate, and I was doing that while also making music. And I watched where the market was going, and I was like, I'm not fighting for scraps. I'm not fighting with everybody. And I'm watching the market now, and I'm watching the Fed increase the interest rate. and I'm watching the prices on houses are going down, which is good. They have to make some type of correction. For sellers, it's not good, obviously, because it was
Right.
so high.
I'm
It
meaning
was so high.
for us selling. That's the problem.
You know, it's still too high. Like sellers should not. Sellers bought those houses at $150,000. Now they're trying to sell it for $250,000-$300,000. Like that's not feasible to the normal person. That person is going to be buying into a mortgage that they will not be able to afford in 5 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
I do.
Yeah, it's just it's crazy.
Man, that's another thing I always was like, I want to be a real estate. Because, you know, you go and you sell a house and then you have all this money. Because, you know, everybody that's a friend of somebody, you know, I'm like, oh, they're doing pretty well. And they're like, oh, yeah, well, their wife's a real estate agent. I'm like, I remember when I was growing up, like, everybody was a real estate agent.
You want to know the first thing they teach you in real estate school?
Don't talk about real estate school?
No. First rule about Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club. It's really a fight club. You just go in there and you box the teachers until you get out of there. No, I'm just kidding. Fake it till you make it. That is literally what they tell you. Fake it till you make it. So they want you to like post fake pictures of houses that you sold and kind of build up this rapport of like you working with all these clients. You're taking fake pictures with like other people that work at your office with like a fake like sign saying like this was just sold, you know, like it's fake, it's not real. And that's one thing that really turned me off to the whole real estate game. I was like, oh, like I've been sold a fucking lie, kind of like everything else in this world. And that's why I was like, I can't, I'm not doing this anymore, you know. So my license is in holding. I have my license here, but I'm still technically a broker with Keller Williams, but I have it in holding. I don't even want to do this shit ever again. It was a nightmare.
No, I don't blame you. Yeah, see, when it comes to like college degree, I'm actually in a job where I have over 20 years experience. And I am badass at what I do.
I'm sure you
And
are.
I cannot get promoted.
What?
I cannot get promoted. There's no
Why
way.
not?
And everybody that's coming in, right, on entry level, doing jack shit. And so I'm doing like senior level work. I wasn't the last job, not the job I'm in now, because I was like, fuck that, I was done with that. I was doing senior level. People were coming in entry level and making about that much. There. That much different. Well, I was at the wrong angle, so look outside.
No, now you're just doing dances now at this point.
But they're making what I'm making, coming in entry level, and they're doing a 15th of the work. Because of my experience, I can take on more, I can do more, I can multitask better. If anybody that knows me knows that I can multitask like a motherfucker. But I can't get promoted because the next step is to like be like at a management level. And for some reason, just because it's healthcare in some way, shape, or form, they want you to have a degree, like an office management degree, and or have like a nursing degree. And it's ridiculous and it's wrong. So I'm stuck. I can either find a new career, like a literal career. I'm not talking about. I mean, hell, Hobby Lobby pays probably what I make at this point.
Really?
Like when people find out how much I make, they're like, "What?" Like, well,
I mean, is
because
there anything?
everybody else in these other jobs, they don't need their degrees and stuff, and they're advancing and they're doing really well. But I think I just got lucky and landed in an industry where there's a ceiling for me without that, unfortunately.
Well, is there any way like you can? Is there any way you kind of like just kind of like I don't know how to put it together, but like kind of just make your resume look a little bit better than it really. Everyone lies on their resume a little bit to get a better gig. Like because once you are like management or something like that, you could always put down on your resume like I was management here, and it always looks better no matter where you go and apply.
No, exactly. Well, get this. Okay, so here's how I got this last job. And actually, I've done it before. I did it prior to that. Like the 2 jobs ago that I do all the senior stuff for and I left that job. You know how I got that job? I went to my interview. 3 people sitting in front of me. I know them all now, but at the time I was like, okay. And they're like, oh, well, have you done pharmacy billing? I said, well, kind of, sort of. I said, I do medical billing. I've done it for like 20 years. And they're like, oh, well, do you know the program? No. Do you know this? No. Do you know that? No. I said, but you give me 5 minutes, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I said, I would be better than anybody else that you're going to have come in here. I
Yeah.
said, that sounds cocky. I said, but it's confidence. I know what I'm doing. I said, I know everything about it. I just need to learn the system. So once you teach me like the program, right, where to click, I don't need you to tell me what to do. I need you to tell me where it is on the screen. Once you do that, I'm good. I said,
Yeah.
I promise you. I said, in a month, you're going to be like, oh, well, good. You know? And I got a raise like in the first, actually, I was training somebody my second month. So
Okay.
they hired me on the
Oh,
spot.
that's what I'm saying. That goes to show you. I mean, as long as you have the experience, you know what you're doing.
Hmm.
Uh, you can get a job anywhere, basically.
I'm thinking about doing that and like going into, I don't know, like Wall Street and being like,
Let me sell you some stocks real quick.
do like
Uh,
a boiler room type situation right there.
Honestly, I would say this. I would say you do what you got to do to pay the bills, but always do whatever makes you happy. Like, you know, I think I said this on the last podcast because people always message me and they reach out about starting up their reaction channel or bar breakdown channel. I say, listen, like it might seem like it's all glitz and glam, but it is a lot of work behind the scenes, and you're gonna make pennies on the dollar for what you're doing. You're making less than minimum wage,
Hmm.
less than minimum wage for even a channel as large as mine. I always hear about how big my channel is, and I'm like, until you get that signing from that label or whatever, or that company that's going to give you a certain amount of money up front, and then you have to produce content to make that money back to them. Um, it's pennies on the dollar. It's just not.
It is.
It's not anything that it's gonna. It might cover like just your like rent, maybe your mortgage. With how high things are going, probably not anymore per month. Um, but yeah, it's just it's really just that's what I don't like about social media. It's like your human highlight reel. You know what I'm saying? Like people get to just see your highlights, and none of it's like real, man. So I tell everybody like just make sure no matter what you do in life, enjoy it because you're doing that every single moment of your life. And if you're not enjoying it, I mean, then what the hell are you doing it for? Like I love doing this. I love having conversations with people that I care about, and I love having fun and this is easy, but I do love it. I do love it, and I'm very lucky that we both have people that want to listen to us and hang out with us, and that we talk to outside of this and stuff like that. So, I mean, I would say do whatever you are doing, but definitely keep doing this and don't stop. I know you said you've been doing this since January, and
Hmm.
the amount of subscribers you have, but it doesn't matter. Like if you keep doing this and you keep getting people on this podcast and keep having conversations like this and hear a different perspective and asking them questions about exactly like what they do and what their beliefs are, and you just keep guiding the conversation the right way, it'll blow up, so to speak, or it could become your main source of your income, and you could be really happy because I can tell you enjoy doing this.
I was gonna say I just love it. I just love doing it,
Yeah,
and it's a
awesome.
pain in the ass, y'all. It's a lot of work. It's not easy. It's not easy to, if there's anything that I would never outsource, it'd be the scheduling people, because I interact with everybody personally.
Yeah,
I talk to everyone personally. I try to accommodate them personally. It's a big deal.
yeah,
For someone to give you their time. Time is the most precious thing we have. Once you give it away,
yeah.
it's gone. You can never get it back. You can make money back. You can,
Hmm.
repurchase something. You can recreate something. And time is. So when someone gives that to you, you've got to respect that. So to me, I would never change that. But shit, everything else, fuck. I mean, because
Yeah.
reaching out, promoting, posting links, it, trying to do that like when I'm on break or this, that, or the other, did I do it yesterday? Am I supposed to do it now? Worrying about if anybody clicked on it. And then I used to worry about that. Now I don't care about that. I just want to give anybody that's on, what's the word? I want them to have the best opportunity to be seen and
Mhm.
like to benefit them in any way that I can for no matter how little or how much, right? So
Yeah.
like for in exchange for their time, for them spending that time and helping me out just by hanging out with me, um, making sure that as many people that sees what I post has at least had the opportunity to see it and might be able to hop in just to say hi, to show love to them because they deserve it. That's the whole point. So I
Yeah.
work real.
No.
That's what takes most of my time. to be
Yeah,
honest.
no, for sure. Yeah, and I understand that like it's like a feeling of like satisfaction when like you do like reach out to people and talk to people and help people out and stuff like that. And that's why like it's literally at the end of every one of my. I know I can see my analytics. Everyone skips my outro. Everyone does. They skip my intro and my outro, but I still won't drop it. I could literally just start a video and just go mm, react and then just go. It'd probably do much better. But
Hmm.
I still won't drop it because I want to say thank you to anybody that takes the time to like hang out with me and laugh with me or share their ideas with me or their music and stuff like that. Because I know that's what they're doing is they're sharing their time with me, and that, like you said, that's something we can't get back, and that is the biggest currency that we have. It's our health and our time. You know what I'm saying? Those things are the only, like you said, money you could always make that back. I know it's hard to hear when you're like coming from a super broke standpoint. What happened? Oh, we got someone spying on
What do
you.
you need? Well, go over there. Go.
What did she say? She wanted a what?
She wants Freddy, the cat.
Oh, I thought like I was like Freddy. Freddy,
No,
Freddy Krueger.
no. Hey, Desiree, are you talking to him or to me? She says, I'm
Oh,
wondering how your watch time is compared to the subscribers.
oh, I can't. It's so small. I can't really see the chat box that well. Yeah, I
Mm.
can't see the chat box that well.
I was just curious if
Uh,
she was talking to you or to me, because
we'll find out. Yeah, I don't understand OnlyFans. Wait, what? I'm reading a whole different thing than you are. I don't understand OnlyFans. I honestly like paying for a monthly subscription when there's free stuff online. Okay, I'm reading something totally different than you are. Am I
yeah, they're
reading the
talking
right?
about OnlyFans.
Oh, she's talking to you?
No, she's talking in general about OnlyFans. They're talking.
No, Desiree said, "Cat, I was talking to you."
Oh, I thought she was. I was like, she's not talking to me about OnlyFans.
No, no, I think she's talking about the watch time with subscribers.
Yeah, I do know what my watch time and stuff is. So I basically get a ridiculous amount. Really, are you throwing stuff in the middle where the camera's at? Like, move that. Thank you. Sorry.
Don't
No, with the.
apologize. That's the organic stuff that makes life unique. You got to keep it.
Well, I just feel like not only did the room turn a little bit pink, but now I've got like my kid.
Honestly, I was gonna say shout out to Bailey for turning the light on because it made everything look a lot better.
Thank you.
I'm just letting you know you should probably keep that light on in future.
Well,
Future
because
podcasts.
stuff was going behind the clouds and stuff, and so it was changing. It was changing it over and over and over.
You got more doors opening and stuff. You got stuff happening behind you.
That's my mom.
Oh, your mom is at the house. Oh, okay.
Oh,
What?
there's a cat. The whole family, yeah.
You have the whole family tuning in. Oh my god, this is so fun. That's amazing. Welcome to Elsewhere Podcast, where anything can happen.
Where else would you be? Apparently nowhere, because they're going to be in here.
Yeah, exactly. No, but that's what I'm saying. You got to enjoy stuff like that. Like the other day, I was in the middle of a video and I had a fly. Me and this fly were at war. No, I'm not. It was like 3 videos in. I kept trying to kill it. I have like a soft light right here, so and it's like on a stand that's kind of wobbly, and like it landed on the stand, and I went to hit it, and I smacked my light and almost knocked my light over. And then like finally mid video, I was like, guys, I have to kill this thing, and it landed over on like my door frame, and I went and I killed it. And it was so much satisfaction for killing that damn fly. But that's stuff that makes stuff unique, and if people keep cutting out real life things, like it's going to take away like real value. That's the way I see it. I don't know, but
I agree.
I could be wrong though, because I know there's people out there that edit everything and they do fucking way better than me. So I mean, but that's stuff that I find valuable, and I'm not going to change my values for somebody else. So.
No, I completely understand. Desiree, I would just say answer your question. I do know what my watch time is, and my watch time is ridiculous for the amount of subscribers I have. So basically, what my numbers tell me, in general, is that the people that subscribe to me are pretty consistent. They keep coming back and they keep listening.
That's good.
Even if they're not in the live at the time, they come back after the fact. So my watch time, like when it comes to, people ask me, do you have you hit all the things for monetization? Of course I don't have the subscribers yet, but I blew the watch time out of the water. It's gone. I think it's like what, 4,000 hours? Yeah, easy.
Yeah, it's
So
it goes by pretty quickly. And like I said, the subscribers they'll come over time, and the way you're doing it, like organically now, it's going to pay off in the long run. Because like,
well, that's what I'm saying. Because statistically, the percentage of people who come back who are subscribed to the channel, who
mhm,
consistently come back and listen after the fact, or at least click on it and see what's going on, is
mhm,
higher than almost any reactor out there. Y'all, just saying. They get lots and lots of views, but when it comes to their subscribers that come back for every single one,
mhm.
people tend to. I mean, they do, and I'm proud. I'm stupid proud of that. I don't care if I had 10
Oh yeah.
subscribers and 5 of them came back consistently. Let's go. That's how we started.
Oh, that's how I was when I started the channel. I never looked at numbers. I would post like numbers, like just to, like let people know like how the channel's doing. But I
Yeah.
never would like go like check a video, see how many numbers it did, or check subscribers and stuff. I would update stuff like in like my descriptions just to keep the channel updated. But yeah, I mean, even when I first started, I remember like I just want to make videos just for like me and like my family for personal reasons. And then I didn't realize how big of a community it was. And man, I just got really lucky. I think I just got really lucky, and I'm very grateful. And I made so many great connections too. That's the best part about this is I've met so many amazing people like you and Skulls and everybody else, Ben and Desiree over there and Dave and I talk to all these people and every day it's all became friends and family. And that's the best part of this whole thing is we all have each other now. And it might be through technology. Some people always mention like, oh well, you don't know me. It's just only through technology. It's like, but I do know you, and if you ever needed something from me, I would do my best to help you. Like
Well, see, and that's what's kind of funny because it just hit me a little bit funny. I actually had somebody that I've known for. We used to play World of Warcraft together. We became really close. Like he got married. I was married. Like we were friends. We've been friends for 12, 15 years, something like that.
mhm.
We hardly ever talk, but out of the blue, he posts. He shares Tom's one of his reels that he just did.
Okay.
And he posts it. And I'm like, "Do you listen to Tom McDonald?" He's like, "Oh, I just found him. He does this. You know who he is? He does this stuff. This," and
This
he's
stuff.
explaining to me, and I'm like, "Well, I know who he is.
Mhm.
And yeah, I know who Nova is. Yeah, I do. I do
Mhm.
pretty well, actually." But then it's hard to say. Well, I've actually never been to their house or seen them in person. But when shit went down with my kid, they reached out to me. You know what I'm saying? Like they reach out. They've reached out to you when shit went down. People do that, and people don't
Yeah.
understand. Like, how do you explain that dynamic? Like, well, how would you describe that? They're still your friend, but how do you say, well, you're not gonna find me in pictures with them because we've never been physically around each other. But
Yeah.
when I tell people, I think they'd claim me.
They claim me.
Like if someone
Yeah.
said cat and they talk to you, I would say, well, I'm sure he would claim me. Like you'd claim that you know
Yeah.
me.
Of course.
Wow, thank you, Ben. He
What did
donated
Ben
another.
say?
He donated another 50 because y'all rock. Use it for airfare for Bush.
I'm paying you back. I'm paying you back when I get there. I'm driving though. I'll be driving.
Yeah, I'll be the one flying
Oh, you can
because I'm
fly.
in
I'll be
Texas.
driving.
I'm
Oh,
in
you're in
Texas.
Texas.
I ain't driving that far. Mm-mm.
No, I like driving. I like the scenery. I like the escape. Planes are fine. I don't mind planes, but I mean, I'll be honest. I prefer driving over. I like taking the scenic route. I like just looking around and seeing different areas and stuff like that. I love driving, but flying, I feel is like, of course, you can get there much faster, and yeah, it's way more convenient. But I just feel like it's just some like rushed, panicky situation where you have to be there on a certain time. You're taking your shoes off. TSA's patting you down, and getting on a plane. You can only carry so much luggage. Stewardess are being assholes to you, and everyone in the plane's crying, coughing, and all type of stuff happening. I didn't mean that kind of cough, but you know what I mean. Like always stuff happening on planes, and I'm just like I can't be in here. I'm stuck on this plane for 3 hours. I got to get out of here. I'd rather drive. I can stop anytime I want to.
Have you seen one of those viral videos where like the cat? There was a cat on a plane,
No.
like on the backs of the seats. It was just
Uh.
walking. Somebody's cat got out. Like how? What do you mean your cat got out? Like how does that work?
Yeah, I don't know, but that That's pretty funny though. I didn't see that. They must have just got it on the plane somehow. I don't know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather drive, but I'm definitely going to try to go to the one next year. I was talking to I was talking to a few people. I was talking to Ben and some other beatboxers and stuff like that too. And yeah, man, that community. I love that community. They're so
I
dope.
do
They're
too.
so fun. Yeah.
Well, I had Vakota on, and he was awesome. Like, he was, I don't even know how to say it. Like, he was so nice.
Yeah.
And, like, there was no, like, he's got his titles, right? So he can swag a little bit. You know, you have every right to do that when you earn, championship titles, or you're the number one in the world or whatever on whatever care. If you're the number one, armpit sniffer in the world, then you should be able to use your title. I don't know.
Go ahead, brag about that all you like. I guess I know it's going to get you, but good luck with that one.
But what I'm saying is, he was absolutely kind. He was not like egotistical, rude, snarky, better than, didn't do any of that shit. And not,
Yeah.
there's people that are like this big that do that shit. But no, they are really cool. Like, I've noticed on a lot of their battles, they're like literally like bopping to each other's stuff. Yeah, sometimes they're like,
Yeah.
jeering at him, but for the most part, it's like watching your best friend perform,
Hmm.
even though they're battling you. It's what
Yeah.
it seems like, and I love that. I love that, and I can't wait to go. I'm so excited because they invited me
Yeah.
to come, and I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah, well, hopefully I see you there. I don't know if I can make the one in December because I got my girlfriend's birthday's in December. I always my December's are always crazy, but I'm definitely gonna try to line something up for next year. But yeah, I was gonna say that's why at the end of each one of my videos that I do the beatboxing, I pause it when they're hugging at the end because I mean I just love seeing the camaraderie at the end, and you gotta think about it like this too. They're fans of each other, creating different sounds or trying to sound like somebody else so that when you do battle them, you can kind of throw it back in their face, like, I've been studying you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different elements, and yeah, I love the community. Even me talking to Swiss Beatbox personally, like at first I had some problems, and then they reached out to me when they realized I was, and they were like, "Yo, we're so sorry you've been having these issues. Well, whatever you need." And I was like, thank you so much. And then like I started talking to like even like D'Lo, you know what I'm saying? Like reached out to me and he like gave me special permission to react to his new content and stuff because he's putting copyrights on his stuff. And he's like you're one of the select few, man. Like I appreciate. I don't want to put him on blast, but anyways, yeah, it's very cool and very level-headed guys, and a lot of people are like that. But yeah, then you like you said, there are those people that just get a little bit of notoriety, and then they feel they can just treat people like shit, and it just
Me walking in the gas station, like, get the fuck out of the way, bitches. I'm Cat.
never. I'm Cat. Just start muffing people. Just I'm just kidding. I could never. I could never see. I don't know. I don't have that in me. I don't even know how people could do that. It doesn't make sense to me because even if you're born into privilege, like I don't know. Maybe it's just the way people were raised. It has to be something with their environment or the way they were raised. But yeah, I couldn't be like that. There's no way. You got to show love because there's not enough of it in this world.
Well, that was one of my biggest things, and we've talked about this before. I say it all the time, where I say that there's been a huge change in the reaction community. People aren't as much fighting as they are. There's a lot of collaboration going on. There's a lot of bridge building, affiliating with each other, just even in a positive way, showing up in each other's chats, stuff like that. I've seen that increase a lot.
Yeah.
And before, when I first started watching, aside from watching, oh God, my favorite thing in the whole wide world, to this day, I think, was you being so blitzed out of your mind watching buttholes.
Oh God. Oh, don't listen. I don't know what I said. What did I say? I don't even know what I
You were
said.
like, your face, because you were like, I'm so fucked up for this, and you're just like,
Oh no. Yeah, I was probably going off no
you
sleep. And I was
were,
probably stoned as hell.
or the best rapper ever, because then you were like, you're like, no,
Oh
no, no. But I'm just saying, people are collabing, they're hanging out with each other, they're more open to everyone succeeding. There's enough success for everybody.
yeah.
There's no reason that if I can if I can hit a milestone of liking 5,000 videos, because, you know, I show up and I drop a like and I leave. That doesn't mean that it's my favorite type of content. It just means I am supporting, right?
Yeah, no, of
And I hit
course. Yeah.
5,000. I'm like, I don't see why anybody else can't, like, you know, they can subscribe to 35 people. I can subscribe to 35 people.
Oh yeah, I subscribe to everybody. I
Well, that's
go.
what I'm saying. So why,
Yeah.
like, why do people think that? Oh, well, I can't subscribe to them because it's that person doesn't like them, or oh, I can't do. There's no such thing as you can't. Oh, I listen to country rap, so I can't listen to mumble rap. Well, why not? If you like it, then fuck it, listen to it.
I think it's because people care too much about what people think of themselves,
Mm.
and then, you know, yeah, yeah. When I started the channel, I remember people were like trying to almost get me to like beef with other reactors, and like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand. Well, I'm not used to social media, so I don't know these things. And I remember like some people were like stealing things from me, which was fine.
I
At first, I
remember
didn't.
that. I remember that video.
Yeah, like, well, it was happening before that video, but then it got to the point where like people were like plagiarizing like what I was saying,
You're
and
like,
then
you
like
do not know who you do not know. Like, you do not want me to go there. Like basically, you literally were saying, you don't know where I come from and how I can be, and so like fuck around and find out. It's kind of what you were doing. It was great. It was epic.
yeah, well, that's the thing is like, and that brought me to like, but like when someone gets control of you like that, you become their slave, you know. And I thought I'm kind of embarrassed at that moment of myself because I let somebody else's actions take control and get under my skin, you know.
Yeah,
And
but on the flip side of it, there was a lot of that going on, not just with your channel, but with between other, like, you know, you could see the pairings of other channels where it was like consistent, and you go through these different reactions, and it would be like, I just heard, and not always you, it was other people. It's like people were doing that. So for someone to say, fucking stop, it mattered because, you know, it takes a while for people to stop clicking because maybe they didn't realize who it originally came from.
yeah,
But for someone to say, dude, I see what you're doing. I see you. Stop. Do your own shit. Like, what the hell? It was
yeah.
actually good. I personally I was there for that.
A lot of people were, and they liked that moment, but
Not
like,
you being upset or not you being angry, but like for you just standing up and saying, fucking quit. You're literally ripping me off.
yeah, I mean, like I just and I didn't even know like so I didn't know it was happening until like my subscribers like in the beginning that were like day ones were like sending me clips and I wouldn't even watch them. Like, oh, don't even worry about it. Like they kept sending me. I kept getting like I mean a lot of them, and I started like watching little bits and pieces, and they were like taking words that I was saying and like using them, not like the bars I was breaking down, but almost like my analogies, like word for word. And I'm like, hey, that's a little fucking creepy, dude. Like I'm a channel with like 500 subscribers. Why are you stealing stuff from me? Like yeah, one day somebody like took something exactly that I said word for word, and I lost it. I was doing that video, and I had to make the announcement. I was like, okay, everybody wants to skip to the video, go ahead. I was like, but I gotta say something. Yeah, I don't even know. I blacked out. I was just because like I'm not going to have like a beef battle war with you on YouTube. I will take it off. Like I will find out where you are. Like I'm not playing these mental warfare games. Like I come from the south side of Chicago. Like we don't handle this shit with just words. Like we go to where you're at and that's it. And that's what I was trying to get across. Was like I'm on here for social media just for fun. But like if you want to fucking steal from me or try to harm me in any which way, like that's not gonna happen. That's where I was coming from. But like I look back on that moment and I'll never like I don't like I just and even anytime I even get into an argument with somebody, I don't like letting them get under my skin because that means they won, and that's the way I look at it. So
But it
yeah,
was a real moment because you could see that it was real. Like, you could see that you hit that moment and you're like, okay, listen, I just have to fucking have something I gotta say. It was real. So it wasn't
yeah,
like you plotted and planned. You made a separate video just to be like, okay, and dropping names and saying, what you gonna do about it. Like, you weren't. You literally had a moment where you needed to say something.
yeah.
And what's funny to me is that you knew they'd see it since they watched your videos.
They would subscribe to me, then they would unsubscribe me. They would subscribe to me, then unsubscribe to me. So like it's like I don't know if they're like subscribing to me to like watch my videos to know when I posted, and they would unsubscribe. I kept seeing them subscribing and unsubscribing, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? Are you an ex-girlfriend of mine? like what's going on here? Like I kept getting so confused, and you know, I'm glad like it's come to an end. I think me kind of putting my foot down kind of deaded that because I was just getting ready to fucking go on a mission, about to be like taken, you know, and it's fucking
Well,
yeah, it was
that's what the community was like. And I'm not
yeah,
saying that it isn't like that in some channels or some whatever, some communities. Some people still have issues with each other. That's fine. Do you? You know,
yeah,
like but at the time like almost every single channel had somebody that they had a problem with. That but then I don't see that as much anymore, but maybe that's still happening, but I choose to not affiliate with channels that act that type of way. And so
yeah.
maybe I'm not seeing it. If,
Maybe, yeah, for sure. And like that's one thing about my channel too is like I don't. That's why I was even saying like when I was going on my rant earlier, I was like, please don't take it in a negative light. Like, you know, I try to keep everything positive because whatever you put out there, as long as it's positive and informative, like you're gonna get that back to yourself. If you're putting out negative content all the time, like it's gonna like you're spewing venom onto your subscribers and those people who are already going through stuff. They don't need any more negativity. Like so, here's an example like I told you, like me and Knox we're friends. We're on good terms, right? But when I started my channel, everyone kept like trying to get me to beef with Knox, and I was like, I don't even know who Knox is. They're like, oh, well, you know, they say like you're just like him, you mimic him. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who this guy is. And then I did get to see who he was, and I was like, oh yeah, he wears a hat. You know, like he breaks down bars. I was like, oh yeah, he studies some of his songs. That's cool. You know, he's a cool dude. But then, like I said, as soon as something went down with me, he was there to back me up and there was never any beef. And then something happened where Knox recently did a diss, and he was like dissing a bunch of like reaction channels and stuff like that. And, like I don't know if they were artists and reaction channels or whatever. Uh, and somebody caught it from Knox, and then Knox jokingly said something about Rob when Rob reacts, all he does is something like crying. Well, my name is Rob, you know, but also people call me Cliff. My first name is Rob, last name Cliff. So I jokingly was like, Rob reacts, are you talking to me? Like, let me find out, Knox. Like, I was just joking because I just talked to him earlier that day, you know, jokingly saying it. Then, like, the person he was dissing jumped into my comment on my video and was like, oh, he's 100% dissing you. And he's dissing me too. And this, and that. Like, almost like trying to get me to, like go against him. And I messaged him back and I said, hey, boss, like, I don't know what's going on between you and Knox. I hope you're able to figure it out. But I can assure you that Knox is not dissing me. Like, I'm on good terms with him. I hope you guys can figure it out. And then when that happened, I guess Knox seen my reaction too, and he instantly hopped on Instagram to message me, and he hopped on the voice message. He's like, hey, bro, like, I didn't know that was your name. Like, you know, like, I was not trying to diss you. This is that. I messaged him back instantly, like, hey, bro, like, I know you weren't. I was just joking around, like, making a joke off of your comment and stuff like that. And then the guy that he dissed deleted his comment off my video, then went and made a diss, like a rant about Knox for 45 minutes over like 3 bars, and then started dissing me too. And I never said a word to this guy. I wished him the best. I hope they could figure it out. And he was just so negative. And you could just, I could just hear it in his voice, and he was so affected by this. He was like almost shaking during his like reaction or whatever. He's already listened to it before. And he was like asking people, like, oh, should I make a diss? Should I diss him back? I'm not a rapper, but should I diss him back? And people were like, but you used to put rapper in your title before, but now you're not a rapper as soon as someone disses you. Oops. And then they were like, why are you dissing Cliff? He said nothing. You know, like, you left a message on his channel, and then you deleted it, and he's like the nicest guy out there. And then you know he can't say, he's not going to rap battle you back. You know what I'm saying? I was going to say something, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give this guy the time of day because I don't want people to go to a negative place. I want people to go to positive places. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, right. That was just a funny moment, and it was like the last petty thing that I remember that happened on the internet. And I was like, dude, this guy's just got some issues he needs to work on. But I thought it was funny. I got a diss. Someone dissed me.
Me too.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that.
But you know what? Honestly, it just, I was kind of like, I was offended at first. And then I was like, this is kind of actually hilarious. Hey, Mom, I made it.
Well, I think it's the initial shock of like, man, someone's mentioning me. Like, what the fuck? And then you're
my actual first reaction was, what the fuck did I do? I'm not a rapper. I'm gonna drop a podcast on your ass. Like, what do you want me to do?
That's a rhyme right there. You got a rhyme. Drop a podcast on your ass. No, I mean,
I don't know why I just pictured the house from Wizard of Oz with podcast written on the front, landing on the witch.
Just
The
have the
feet
2
sticking
feet
out.
hanging out the bottom. Yeah. I mean, people who start dissing people and stuff, it's all for clout. Like you know, it'd be different if I was rapping on YouTube. Then
Hmm.
that'd be my way of responding. But I'm not. I'm doing breakdowns and reactions. You know what I'm saying? So like, what do you want me to say? You want me to say your name to give you clout? I never will. I never will. But yeah, I thought it was funny how like I don't know. I just thought it was funny how I caught a stray by just being nice and being like, "Hey, man, I hope you guys can figure it out. I wish you the best, man. Like, I don't know who you are. I don't watch any other reaction channels. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Oh,
no
that must have
disrespect.
done it right there.
No, I didn't say that. I'm saying that to you. Like, I honestly, I can respectfully say, like, it's not because I don't like them. It's I don't watch my own content. I don't watch other people's content. The only content I watch is with everybody else. Whatever I'm reacting to, whatever I'm breaking down, because I don't have time. I'm not trying to say that in a negative way, but like I don't. I'm working like in 15 minutes. I got to go live on my own channel, and I got to go game with my buddy Vikes, who I'm trying to help grow his Twitch because he's like a real good gamer who's trying to learn a new game with me, and that's why I'm doing it. I'm always trying to do stuff to like help people and grow things. So yeah, it was just funny like seeing. I won't say funny, but it's just sad seeing so much negativity from a person, and then that person has a decent amount of subscribers, and I was like, man, like you got to listen to that negativity all day. I wish you the best because that's not going to help.
No, but that's the thing is, I mean, in the end of the day, and I have had to teach myself some hard lessons about it. I'm not always the most positive person. I try to be, but I'm not. I don't succeed all the time.
That's okay. That's normal.
But I've learned a lot of valuable lessons since I started doing this and interacting with all these different people. Not everybody thinks that you're as cool as you think you are. Not everybody thinks you're as cool as that one person who told you were super cool does.
Yeah.
Not everybody hates you, but not everybody loves you, and that's okay too. Um,
Yeah.
not everybody's going to like what you say. Not everybody's going to give a rat's ass about everything you post or, you know, and you do need to take breaks and get privacy and shut down for a little while. Save
Yeah.
this because this matters too. So,
Yeah. I mean, this is the most important thing. I mean, this whole thing doesn't work without this.
exactly. I'm just saying I've learned a lot and I've made a couple mistakes, but thankfully not big ones, not huge like channel deleting, devastating. You know what I'm saying? Like that you're like, oh shit, and go hide in the corner under the bed. I haven't had to do that yet. That's actually where my daughter was, under the bed.
Oh, that's
When
what you.
that's why my mom was like, "Hey," that was what she was doing. It was great.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's funny. Oh, is that? Oh, so wait, your mom was on the chat and then came in the room.
Because she saw
That's so funny.
she
That's
saw that
awesome.
she wasn't leaving, and so she came to the door.
That's funny. I mean, that's you can't write stuff like that. That's the stuff. That's stuff I like. That's like seeing people be human is stuff that I cherish. Because, like I said, I don't like I can't scroll through Instagram and see somebody like holding someone's hand on a beach, and all of a sudden it's like flashes of them having like a perfect dinner with bright white smiles, and then it's like it's so fake. I can't. I cringe when I see it. I'm like, it's not real.
Well, man, I'm doing Instagram all kinds of wrong because I posted a reel of the
Yeah.
Barbie that I bought my daughter yesterday. She got these shoes,
Uh,
and the feet are like flat, right? They're flat, but the shoes, the way they're built, when you stand the Barbie up with the shoes, it's bending like this. Like
okay.
it's literally here's the Barbie, here's the feet are flat, they come straight out.
Uh huh.
So when you stick them in the shoes, it's like this,
So it's got like a Michael Jackson lane.
like a complete the whole time. There's no knee
Yeah.
bending or anything, so it's like just
It's Michael Jackson. You ever seen him when
so
he does a dance and just
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. And so what I did is I posted a reel about it, like the fuck.
Hmm.
And there's no happy smiley pictures of food and stuff. It's like the fuck Barbie, fix your
Yeah.
shoes.
No, yeah, no, that's normal stuff. But like again, this is just my point of view. Obviously, I'm not always correct because it works for other people. Oh, I know, right? I'm not correct and I make mistakes. Oh, shame on me. But I'm just saying, like, I point out what I enjoy, and that's
I
all
got
that
you.
matters. It should be about what you enjoy, what I enjoy, what all of your listeners enjoy. We all have different preferences. That's all that matters.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you now because I tried to before, and you're like, well, we'll wait for the podcast. Cool, cool. So, if I was going to make a story to, I don't know,
Okay.
push the fact that you're going to be on the podcast, and I had to pick songs in the background, what would your
Mm-hmm.
top 3 be? Like, if it was going to be like, pow, I'm going onto a podcast, what song would you want as your entrance music?
Entrance music. Oh God. I don't know. That's a good question. Because then I have to eliminate like my favorite songs, but they have to be like relatable. If they're gonna be entrance music, it has to be something that relates to you.
Well, it's, it's like 15 seconds of, you know,
I think you did a great job. Return of the Mac. I was dying laughing. My girlfriend was dying. She was like, "Oh, that is so good." I think you did a fantastic job. I didn't
thank
even
you.
have to give you songs.
I,
What
I
other?
the one from yesterday I was super proud of the Cal Scrooby one.
Oh yeah, that one too. Yeah, that was good too. Yeah, they were all really good. Even the when you did the little piano from Guess Who's Back. Yeah, that was funny. I don't know. I there's certain anthems I listen to and stuff like that, but I couldn't tell you like what I would want my walkout music to be. I don't know. There's so many songs that I relate to. I mean, that's like impossible to answer. I don't know. I mean, like when I think of myself, like I think of there's a few songs like "Dreams and Nightmares" by Meek Mill. Um, this is gonna sound funny. Freddie Gibbs, "Half Man, Half Cocaine," uh, and then I would do something like Eminem, "The Way I Am," something like that. Those something like along those three right off the top of my head. I can't really explain why. You just have to listen to them, but they're something that I relate to a lot. So
Let's see, me personally, it would be Unstoppable by Sia.
unstoppable. Oh, you're unstoppable. Yeah, I know that song.
Because I'm a
Yeah,
girl. And it's a badass song.
but see, like it relates to you, so you
Hmm.
like it, right? See, that's what I'm saying. Like it's smart. Like this that's all music is. It's so crazy. Like people like make music this big complex subject when it's not. It's actually so simple that like some people like miss the mark. They overthink it. That's why you hear some artists that are so talented. They're so good, but they just cannot connect with the listener. That's all it is. That's why you see some of these people who are horrible. They're horrible lyricists or horrible singers, but somehow their lyrics connect and they just blow up.
Well, see, I also adore some good EDM. Like Excision, let's go. Like, I would, if I could go to the Lost Festival, whichever, the Land of the Lost or whatever that just happened,
Uh,
I want the rave feeling where it's just bass thumping, mind blowing, just good sounds, big bass drops. Like, let's go.
with ecstasy or without ecstasy?
Well, I don't need ecstasy, but
She's like, but if it's there, I'm like,
no, not anymore. But when I was younger, yeah, you bet your ass.
no,
But I never actually went. They were all at my house.
yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
But no, I just nobody else I knew liked that music ever, ever. But I do. So
no, that's all that matters. As long as you do and you enjoy it. Yeah. So I that scene came around like with me when I was like in my 20s. I had a lot of friends that were going out, doing
mhm.
drugs and going to those things. And like like I said, Southside Chicago. I can't repeat it enough, but like there's such a stereotype here that like you'd have to be here to understand exactly what it's like. Like no TV show or no movie could really mimic what it's really like living here. Like when they say like a war zone and stuff, like they're kind of right, but they're also it's like a war zone, but also a very loving community. You know what I'm saying? You could be having a great conversation with your friend, and some random person just stab you in your side. It's like you just don't know what's going to happen. It could be an old vendetta that you had from 10 years ago that you dropped, and somebody else carried with them forever, and you don't remember it. So like you have to be on your p's and q's depending on where you're at. But yeah, I mean that's why I don't really stay in those areas. I mean I stay like I live here, but, like I work elsewhere. Like I don't go to bars anymore. Yeah, see, I'm either at home or I'm in my studio. I don't go out drinking at bars anymore. I had to end that lifestyle a long time. I watched all my friends die.
There's the plug. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've watched all my friends die, either from getting
That's
murdered or going to jail or taking too many drugs. Like I had to stop. I couldn't continue like that.
that's. Um, Where'd it go? Mama Doritos. How do you guys know each other? Um. Well, he. Well, he
Yeah.
has a reaction channel, and I watch reactions.
Yeah. I do bar breakdown / reactions, and Kat was watching and then reached out to me. I believe, right? Yeah, he reached out to me, and then we just connected and became friends. And we did a podcast before with Skulls, and it was a really good podcast. And we always stayed connected ever since then. And then she
Mm-hmm.
said, "Hey, Cliff, you want to come back?" Or maybe I invited myself back. Did I invite myself back?
Well, I kind of hinted at it, and then all of a sudden you were I can't remember. I think when you first started streaming with game. No, it was before that. You're like, no,
Yeah, it
I
was
need to
before
come.
the.
I need to come on. But then when I caught your first like game when you were live, you're like, you would say, hey, when are we doing that? I thought we were doing that. What's going on? So it kind of expedited it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I think you might. Okay, that's right. Well, either way, we both decided on bringing back the podcast. You know, I would always love to come back here and do these as many times as I can. 'Cause I love doing podcasts and I love hanging out with Kat. And yeah, I mean, everybody who reaches out to me, you know, I try to befriend and have a relationship with. And you know, Kat just happens to have an amazing podcast, and I love doing them. So, you know, hopefully, you know, we continue to keep doing them and have a good time and just you know, just be able to chat and answer any questions people have and just be able to, you know, feet pics. What is Ben talking about over there? I'm over here talking about having a good time and positivity and love, and I see feet pics.
Do you see Op? Is like, why do I keep seeing OnlyFans every time I look at chat?
Why didn't you? I can't see it. It's so small. I just
Prior
see
to
feet
that, Op
pics.
12 says, oh my God, Cliff signed my ear.
Sign my ear. It'll wash off.
I'm here from Cliff's channel. Found him through his Harry Mack reactions. Oh, well, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. Happy to have you.
Oh, thank you, Mom. I appreciate you. I can't really. The chat's so small on my screen. Oh, I thought Cliff did Ghost Hunter videos. Ghost Hunter. Stop it, Roxy. You're just busting balls out here.
Skulls.
Defeat him. Yeah, you're playing double words. Okay, you got a little doubles out here. It's your rapper mind. Ah, hit my knee. Yeah, Cliff beats with feet pics only, fans. No, that's not happening. I thought about it. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't thought about it. I always thought it was crazy how people could take like feet or hand or body pics and be able to make millions of dollars off of it. If I could, I wouldn't. But I
I
thought
would
about
like
it.
something that's like not harmful or like something stupid that
Uh,
I could sell and make millions. That'd be great. Something that like it's natural that I don't have to like go purchase. Something that like I don't know. It's like my that right there, take pictures of that. Maybe they think it's something. I don't know. What
what
is
is
it people
that?
do? The elbow where it looks like it's someone's.
Oh yeah, yeah, private parts. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever pays the bill. You know what? You gotta get it how you can in this life. I don't knock anybody's hustle. I might not be a fan of something, and I'm not afraid to speak my mind about it. But hey, you got to get your money how you can. I don't care if you gotta, you know,
I guarantee
selfie
you,
pics.
somebody's gonna buy if I put it out there. And I have to find the right market, but I bet guarantee you, if they would buy used toothbrushes,
Used toothbrushes. Ugh, maybe like celebrity used toothbrushes or something like that. That'd be crazy.
you'd
I'm
be
sure people would buy that.
surprised.
Didn't something happen like where Justin Timberlake sold like a part of his like French toast he didn't finish or a napkin he used at a restaurant or something like that? I think he like went to a charity on eBay for like $275,000 or something.
I mean, how could you literally justify a purchase like that to like your wife or your husband? Be like, well,
Well, went to a charity, I think, or something like that. I don't.
well,
I have no
charity
idea.
I do understand, but still, $200 and something thousand dollars, and all I got for it was this crappy napkin with a piece of French toast on it. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember reading it like a long. This is maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, and I was like, what? I was like, yeah, this world is just so upside down, man.
Op
Like
said he'd buy it. Of course you would.
ooh,
You're
what?
you're, you're something else, by the way.
A lot of people are something else. But yeah, I mean, someone sold a bag of air. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. People sell some of the craziest stuff, and you know what's crazy is people will buy some of the craziest shit that's out there.
I, yeah, that's true. I haven't found like I don't have any creepy collection things like where I collect, you know, piece of anything. I don't collect anything. So I couldn't think of anything cool to put in there. Did you see my?
No, I know people who go to like garage sales every weekend and they make a killing. They find all type of like vintage stuff and they sell it. They make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year just going to garage sales each weekend.
Well, tell
I
them
mean,
come to when I do a garage sale like in a week or two at my mom's house. You guys come here. Feel free. Buy all my shit.
I think it's got to be more of like an inner city setting. Like I know people who in New York do it, Chicago do it, because there's just so many houses and so many garage sales. But they find all type of like vintage like Playboys and Hot Wheel cars and like anything, knickknacks, buttons, coins, and they go on eBay or Amazon. They find out how much it's really worth. And they just flip it for that exact number. They'll pay like $25 for 300 Hot Wheels, and like 10 of those Hot Wheels are worth $5,000 a piece, and they just don't know because they didn't do any research on it. That's how a lot of people hustle. You gotta do it. That's what I mean. Get it how you can. Oh yeah, Gary V does that. Yeah, Mama. Yeah, I follow Gary V. He does it all the time too. Yeah.
Well, Cliff, I know that you've got your channel to go to because you have the games that you're going to be doing in any time now. So I just wanted to say, in all honesty, thank you for taking the time to come back and to hang out with us again. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And I appreciate the advice that you give me. I appreciate, you responding or just, shouting out and saying hi. All of it. I appreciate it. You're an amazing human being. You're a wonderful person. And all of us are lucky to even be within your bubble somewhere. So,
It's
you're
our
killing
bubble.
it.
It's our bubble. It's not just my bubble. I just no, and the same goes to you and everybody else who's watching. I'm thankful for you guys and thank you for having me back. I'm always happy to hop on here. If there's anything I can do for you or for anybody else for that matter, it's very easy. You guys know how to reach me. My Instagram's linked in every video. Anytime anybody needs me for anything, I'm always here, and especially for you, Kat. I got you. Even if it means fixing your mic setup so you can hear me, I will do it. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I knew something was wrong. I was like, it can't be on my end.
I just got a docking station. Apparently, it needs to go back, and I need to get the other one that I was thinking about getting. So.
Oh, I knew something was going on. Cause I was like, when I was talking into it, I could see like my little blue, like little mute button. It was going. I'm like, I'm talking, so something's going through. I was like, let me call my guy, and he's like, I think he's drinking a little bit while he's sick. He's like, I'm a little sick, and I'm at the bar right now. I was like, what are you doing at the bar, man? I need your help. But he, I think he did any of his advice help, or did you just find it on your own?
No, it did. I understood what he was saying, so I appreciated that. Like, it would have made sense if it hadn't been my fault in the first place.
Yeah, I wish I was good with, like I said, anybody who like looks at me, they think I know tech stuff. Everybody helps me with stuff. Like, yeah, in life, that's another thing too. For anybody else, on my final thing is like, our final statement is, in life, you will always need people to help you. You cannot do everything by yourself. So don't be afraid of networking, connect with people, and just show love, man. Just keep showing love to everybody, and you'll get love back, even if it feels like right now you're not getting it back. It pays off in the long run.
Man, much love. Guys, I appreciate y'all being here. Definitely check him out. If you haven't figured out who he is yet, what the hell? Where have you been? Crawl out from under the rock. Go click the link below in the description. Please, 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 more than anything else, if you don't mind, please, please drop a comment. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you liked, didn't like, something you thought was funny, because I'm looking for people to tell me what to clip for shorts and stuff. Anyway, on that note, we're going to let him get to his channel and do his thing. Again, that's in the description, so click over there, and when he goes live, you guys can see him. I didn't put your Twitch channel in there, though.
It's just, I think it's just Cliff Beats, so it's no big deal. It's twitch.com/Cliff Beats. You can just go there. But everybody, if you're from AOD, make sure that you are subscribed and you go like all of Kat's content and just show her love no matter what. And I really wish we gotta figure out a way next time that I can go live too on my channel so that I can get people to watch from that side too, and we can get them to come subscribe to you too, because I know they would love the content you're producing. You make amazing content.
Well, honestly, I have no idea, but I will put that on my list of things to figure out. And there's got to be a way, because people do it all the time.
Yeah, I'll have my guy next time. Like my guy said, he said next time you do a podcast, he's like, I'll be around for it, so he'll be in the background and he can kind of like make sure like we never lose connection, or he can make sure that we, that we can, get that figured out. Because I want to help your channel in any way that I possibly can. Because like I said, you make amazing content, and I think you bring a lot of value to just life in general. So I thank you for everything that you do, Kat. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed myself. Thank you for letting me vent and go on my rants.
Oh, come on now, I'm here for it.
I know I had a great time. Thank you.
Well, you guys, you all have a good time. Stay tuned. You're probably going to see practice podcasts as we. I'm kidding. If you see somebody go live and we're like, "What the fuck are we doing?" That's us. Just ignore it. But yeah, definitely check out his gaming that he's going to be doing in a few minutes. Thank you, Cliff. Thank you to the Elsewhere community and to AOD. Love you guys, and I'm going to get out of here and go smoke a cigarette before I bite my own arm off.
Oh my God, go smoke. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Thank you so much, guys. I love you guys. Take it easy. I'll see you soon.